Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at gotanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Timeouts are more than just a break. They're an opportunity. At Blue Tin Design and Marketing, we help small town businesses shine, just like your team on game day. From creative branding to digital marketing, we're here to support your community. Let's build something great together. Visit bluetindesign.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
CoreCares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. CoreCares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
There's no better way to bring in the new year than with a new Deere. And Grossenburg Implement has a huge selection of new John Deere equipment as well as specials on used equipment from John Deere and other brands. Get dependable agricultural, residential, and commercial equipment at Grossenburg Implement with 9 locations in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming. Stop by to visit with a sales professional today or go to grossenburg.com to browse the new and used inventory. Grossenburg Implement, where service is the other half of a great product.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nurtrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at NurtrienAgSolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Timeouts are more than just a break. They're an opportunity. At Blueton Design and Marketing, we help small town businesses shine, just like your team on game day. From creative branding to digital marketing, we're here to support your community. Let's build something great together. Visit bluetondesign.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
The smallest journey the Vermillion Tanagers make all season is right down Interstate I-29 to take on their longtime arch rivals, the Point-Jefferson Huskies, and tonight's matchup means so much for both the boys and the girls, for all four teams in tonight's contest. Welcome to our pregame show on Live Ticket TV, Vermillion Tanagers Live. I'm Heath Nimke. Spencer Buley and Cole Larsch will have you covered for tonight's games, but we have plenty to get into our pregame shows, including catching up with head coach Jeff Newharth of the Point-Jefferson Huskies. We'll also sit down with head coach John Brooks after a tough loss they had this past weekend. We'll break it down more and also talk about what is happening when it comes to not only the media standings, but this game here in general when you talk about the Region 4A. And as we jump into our pregame show, let's begin there. As we know, these two teams not only DAC 12 opponents, but Region 4A opponents. And there is a chance that both these teams could see each other when it comes to postseason basketball, whether it's in the first round or the second round, the way things all deal out. And it's such an important game to not only get a feel for one another, but what could potentially be coming up so far, or I should say later on this season. And I know Cole Larsch and Spencer Buley are going to talk about this coming up here more in our pregame show. But when you take a look at things the way they're breaking out right now within this region, Elk Point-Jefferson is in third, Vermillion is in fourth, and that's saying the Vermillion girls who are now halfway through their season or past the halfway point at 9-2 overall. You have Elk Point-Jefferson who is 8-1, and still two teams in front of those Elk Point and Vermillion that are both undefeated. A lot of games are going to happen yet that really separate these standings when it comes to a month's time from now, but they're so crucial to win these games. Breaking it down on the girls' side, these two teams have also competed, it seems like, to the very last second, each and every single time they play against each other, and that's what's going to make this matchup so dynamic for this evening. Is not only is it going to be competitive, it's going to be close, but you just don't know who is going to be the player of the game for either of these teams tonight, because you talk about Vermillion's big three and the capability they have, but one of the big talking points tonight for Elk Point-Jefferson is their offense. They have 4 different girls that average double digits so far in scoring this season, so you just look at the squad and go, all right, it could be this team, it could be, or I should say, it could be this player, it could be that player that really causes havoc. It just makes it tough who to key in on if you're one or the other teams in tonight's contest. That being said, on the boys' side, we have seen over the past couple of years that this Elk Point-Jefferson team has been towards the top, if you will, when it comes to this region. However, this season they're on the downside. Out of the 7 teams, they currently find themselves in 6th. They are 4-7 overall, including wins this season against a winless Canastota team and also a Ponca boys team that's a little bit on the downside. Otherwise, also wins against Parker and Canton. So basically, any team with a winning schedule so far this season that Elk Point-Jefferson has played on the boys' side, they have not won. So you would say for Vermillion boys, this should be an easier contest, but they are trying to rebound what was their worst offensive performance, not so far this season, but they've seen the past 2 seasons on Thursday when they played against Lennox. And for the Vermillion Tanagers, take nothing away from the season so far, coming in 7-2, but this begins a very tough stretch for them. Elk Point-Jefferson, a region opponent, and another region opponent coming up on Thursday at home against Sioux Falls Christian before Crow Creek, Del Rapids, Beersford, and don't forget about the DAC-12 NEC Clash, who we still at this time do not know who the Vermillion boys are going to be playing. So tonight's 2 games feel very crucial. Maybe not a turning point by any means in the season, but one of those games that you will look back when the postseason rolls around and say, we're happy we got that game, or if we could have, if we should have, if we would have. You don't want to be asking yourself those questions at the end of the night. As I said, I'm Heath Nimke. Our coaches are coming up here in just a little bit, but it's time for our first break, and when we come back, we turn it over to Cole Larsch and Spencer Buley to talk more about the ultimate standings, where all 4 of these teams find themselves out and how they're going to play throughout the next month or so. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Ready Mix Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregates, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Well, good evening and welcome inside Elk Point-Jefferson Schools District. I should say that. I should specify that one. Inside Elk Point, South Dakota, where we have on hand another Region 4A and DAC-12 clash here in Elk Point. Thanks for tuning in to Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch. Alongside me is Spencer Buley out of that open of Heath Nimke. Let's take a little bit of a deeper look before we get into the coaches' conversations. With 3:40 to go in the boys' JV game, it is 39-24 in favor of the Tanagers. As we take a look first at the girls' game here tonight, Spencer Buley, it's going to be a tale of two pretty similar teams, similar records, similar styles of play, very balanced offense and defense. Vermillion comes in number 4 according to the media, dropped a little bit after the loss on Saturday. Elk Point-Jefferson still receiving votes. Vermillion's 9-2, Elk Point-Jefferson's 8-1. Their lone loss was to number 1 Sioux Falls Christian. Very important to note that. I think we're going to have a pretty interesting girls game on our hands.
Yeah, and I think the Vermillion girls come into this game with a lot to prove. I think that they're probably a little bit frustrated. I think head coach John Brooks definitely a little bit frustrated with the outcome of that game over at the Corn Palace Hanson Classic. I mean, they play Makialuta and expected – I would go out on a limb and say they expected that game to be a lot closer. Whether or not they expected to win or not, different story. But that game should have been closer. I think that the Vermillion girls come in with a lot of fire tonight, kind of with a chip on their shoulder, wanting to take some revenge out on somebody.
And it seems like as we get further and further in the season, we're officially now halfway through this season. Not quite for EPJ. This will be their 10th game of the year. As we look at some of the region standings here in Region 4, Elk Point and Jefferson currently sits in 3rd in the region, 44.5 seed point average. Vermillion sits in 4th, 43.6. Sioux Falls Christian 1, Dakota Valley 2. They're both 10-0, so it seems like all these region games just keep getting more and more important as the seed points get closer and as the season nears the end.
There's nothing better than playing in a competitive region matchup, and especially having two teams fighting for kind of that 3rd or 4th spot, fighting really to make a comeback and maybe hit the 1 or 2 spot. I mean, we have a great Vermillion team who's, like I said, coming in with feeling like they have a lot to prove, and we have a very, very solid Elk Point-Jefferson team. Like you mentioned, they're only lost to the number 1 team, so take that how you will as far as the record goes. Cole, I think we have a great first matchup here in store tonight.
Again, just 6 teams in the prep media poll for Class A. Sioux Falls Christian 1, Makialuta 2nd, Dakota Valley 3rd, Vermillion 4th, Hamlin 5th, Elk Point Jefferson, the only team receiving votes, so count them as 6th. You have a 4 versus 6 here in the first matchup. As we turn it over to the second matchup, neither team in the media poll, both teams trying to look for something maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit similar so far here in this one. As you look back to last Thursday, Vermillion offensively couldn't get much going against Lennox. They struggled mightily, and we'll hear that in the boys' pregame show as well. Jay Drake alluded to it. It just wasn't there. And again, you got to give a lot of credit to Lennox. On the Elk Point Jefferson side, so far in the season, they're 4-7 coming in, 6th in the region. Vermillion's 4th. A lot of close losses, 5 losses by 6 points or less. And then you look back to their schedule, they beat a 11-2 Ponca team 55-50. So going to be an interesting second game as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with this matchup. I mean, you talk about the Lennox game for Vermillion last week. Did not go to plan. Really, both of these Vermillion teams are coming off of games where they're coming into this matchup with something to prove, and it's the same way with the boys as well. We spoke with assistant coach Budmeyer. He said give all the credit to Lennox, but at the same time, Vermillion didn't do their job. And this is a team that relies so much on good shooting, not necessarily a super systematic offense all the time. They shoot the ball very well, and they've shot the ball very well all season, but it hit the fan in that Lennox game. And so I think that Vermillion's going to have to see how they respond tonight mentally more than anything, because it's tough when you go cold. When you go cold from beyond the arc, inside the arc, all those things make for a really, really tough basketball game, especially trying to rebound off of a game like they had against Lennox.
Again, in the first game, Vermillion number 4, they're 9-2. EPJ receiving votes, they are 8-1 on their season. On the boys' side of things, the Vermillion Tanagers 7-2, so they're officially halfway through. EPJ, they are 4-7 on their season. Again, looking to kind of capitalize off that last victory against a very good Ponca, Nebraska team. We got 1:24 to go here in the boys' JV game. The Vermillion Tanager boys lead Elk Point Jefferson 42-26. So we're going to step aside one final time, and when we come back, it is the coaches' interviews. First on the girls' side, it'll be head coach Jeff Newharth, followed by John Brooks later in the interviews. That is all after this 1-minute break on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
CoreCares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. CoreCares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dog. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
This is the Vermillion Tanagers pregame show on Live Ticket TV. I'm your pregame host, Heath Nimke, getting you set for this doubleheader between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Point-Jefferson Huskies. Spencer Buley and Cole Larsch, the new voices of the Vermillion Tanagers basketball teams, will have the games coming up here for you in just a little bit, as I've been again busy with everything else going on in my life at this time. Haven't been able to call as many games, but I have been following all these teams within the DAC-12 all season long, and one team that's been not a surprise by any means, but very exciting to watch, just the way they're able to shoot the basketball. And on any given night, you have to key on 4 to 5 different girls with this Huskies team because they're just so dynamic. The Point-Jefferson Huskies is who I'm talking about, 8-1 overall. They are receiving votes in the media. They have not lost since the Christmas break. Again, 8-1. Their only loss so far this season has been against Sioux Falls Christian. And on Saturday, they were at the Hanson Classic as they picked up a win against Agraria Insurance, 47-42. But Coach Newharth knows this is a very important game for his girls against the Vermillion Tanagers, and he knows that it's going to come down to the final few minutes. I caught up with him earlier today to talk about this matchup against the Vermillion Tanagers. I don't want to compare you to the Vermillion Tanagers, but when I look at this group and you talk about your team playing together, this group reminds me a lot of what we saw from Vermillion last year. A lot of senior leadership, and then you have the younger players behind them that just can really rely on those seniors. And I feel like this is your group from what we saw Vermillion last year. That's how your group is, because you have that senior leadership that has now been playing at the varsity level the past couple of seasons. They're now coming into their very own. This is their season. How much have you relied on the older girls' leadership to continue to grow these younger players and make it such a family together playing on the court?
Yeah, I'd say a lot. And they have done a really good job of instructing and helping, the kids out, especially when you get on the floor, like you might see, they'll go together and kind of talk and explain, especially matchups on who we need guarding who, and then just building the confidence up of those kids, and even building each other's confidence up. I think it's a big deal too during the games, just celebrate each other, keep each other involved and engaged, because, of course, the 32 minutes is going to be some really good minutes, and there's going to be some minutes in there you hope there aren't, but, for the most part, you're generally going to have a stretch in the game where you feel like that's maybe not the way we would have liked it to go, and you have to stay confident and grind out those stretches and hope the good stretches last for a long time. But, I think that, like you said, the family nature, helping each other out, is a big deal, and they all hang out and get along very well off the court, and you hear that a lot about teams, and and these girls really do, and that makes a big difference.
When we're looking at your 8 wins so far this season, there's a couple different games that jump out to me. You can even look at your one loss, which was against Sioux Falls Christian, but I mean, it was a 6-point loss there, so a close loss. Otherwise, I think a good win against a good Wagner team, and even a good win against Aberdeen Roncalli. Add on top of that, playing in the Corn Palace, which can sometimes be a daunting task for teams. When looking at this season you've had so far, kind of you hitting the halfway point, what has been the most impressive win so far for your group?
I think they're all, very good wins. Wins are tough to get. We were talking earlier about the schedules that everybody has. So any win is a good win. In terms of how we played, I feel like we played really well against Wagner. We moved the ball well, defended well, and we were able to knock down a good quality amount of shots. Roncalli, a very good team again, and we just played them the third game of the week. So we had to grind that one out late. I thought that's also a quality win. But again, I think they're all quality wins. They all brought something where we had to learn from, get in close situations, get in some, intense atmosphere situations, those sorts of things. And I thought Wagner brought all of that. Roncalli, we had to, execute down the stretch to get a bucket. We had to make some big free throws to hold on to win that one. So we've had really games go different ways for us that we're learning, opportunities. But I think, each game we've played has kind of brought a different style, and we've had to adjust kind of to that style. Just, our last two, if you just pick our last two, Ponca was a little more physical. Things were harder for us to get to the rim. Roncalli maybe not quite as physical, but quicker, and that made us hard to get to the rim. So we had to, adjust as we go. But, I think any win is a good win, but as a whole, I felt like Wagner, we played the best to this point, 4 quarters complete game of the season.
Again, your team 8-1 on this season. Let's break down the scouting report now as we get ready to take on the Vermillion Tanagers. As a coach, if I'm looking at your team, the first couple things I was trying to look at are the girls that are going to score. Those are the girls I really want to focus on, who I need to shut down. Also, rebounding is a huge key if I'm a coach. And when I look at your group, I go, now I have a problem because we have 4 different girls that are averaging double digits. Now it just seems I need to play you straight up man to man. This is going to be the best last punch, if you will, throwing is going to win this game. So if you're head coach John Brooks, how are you scouting your team to shut down the Point-Jefferson Huskies?
Well, Coach Brooks is very good. I'm sure he'll have a very good game plan when they come to town here and on how to stop us. But we like to think that that's what makes us who we are. You can't really key on one person. And any given night that, somebody could step up and have a big game. And from our perspective, we don't know when we leave the locker room who that's going to be. And we just hope, we grind it out. We find that person and we make plays within our motion offense. For us, a big thing is we got to move the basketball and we have to move ourselves. We have to have ball movement and body movement, and those things have to move together. We have to find the right person at the right time, and they have to be ready to knock it down. So, I'll leave Coach Brooks will have a good one on how he wants to defend us. So we'll want to do, we'll have to make some adjustments during the game, that's for sure.
And we'll talk about those adjustments coming up here in just a little bit, because you talk about your team being special, so spread out, so unique, and that's what makes you the Point-Jefferson Huskies. On the opposite side, Vermillion is a lot that way as well, that they have 3 great players on their team that any given night, any of them can go off for 30-plus points. But we have seen at points this season that those girls have been shut down. So what's your scouting report look like to try to eliminate these, scoring as much as possible against the Vermillion Tanagers?
Yeah, well, they're all, like you said, they're all capable of scoring and scoring quickly and in bunches. So our play, we want to eliminate the runs, and just by one player, like we've seen on film where, both Hansen, Reavers, Brooks, they can come down and themselves have a 9-0 run against you just by themselves. So we have to really guard against that. Don't let them get into a quick rhythm that's extended for one individual player. Now, and that's not saying that the other kids on the court can't do that as well, but those 3 kind of got to be your vocal point from kids coming back from last year and stuff. So we got to eliminate their runs individually. And then we have to keep them in front of us, do the best to keep them in front of us, keep them off the rim, contest every shot. And that's, easier said than done. They're all quick to get into the rim. Coach Brooks has amazing sets to get kids open looks and get them to the rim. So for us, we want to keep them in front, eliminate as many open looks as we can, and don't let them score in bunches as a team and individually.
And speaking of individually, last time that Vermillion played in Elk Point-Jefferson during the regular season, you may remember it was a 7th grader by the name of Taylor Roofers that came up late in the end, hitting some free throws to get a key victory for the Vermillion Tanagers over your group. But even when looking at the history of these two teams, you guys always seem to play each other really closely. You'll have home court advantage, but what are the final adjustments that you're making in a close game tonight?
Well, I think we're going to have to, we're going to have to play. It's going to be a 32-minute game, so we're going to have to get up and down with them, and then find those shooters late and eliminate the sets. Like we said, we're going to have to really defend. They run a lot of screening, a lot of ball screen stuff late on sets, and we're going to have to hedge on that and really make them work for everything they got. And I think that's what they probably say about us: make us work for everything we got. And it's kind of like, you watch basketball, you have two good teams playing basketball, good players on the floor. Points are going to be scored. You just want to make it as difficult as you can and hope when the dust all clears, you have one more than they do.
Once again, that is head coach Jeff Newharth here on our pregame show. Always wonderful catching up with Coach Newharth and talking about his girls team. Again, Elk Point-Jefferson has been phenomenal so far this season. Not only are they receiving votes when it comes to the media, but 8-1 overall. Their only loss, once again, was against Sioux Falls Christian. They lost that in the close game, 63-57. That was back before the holiday break, and since the Christmas break, Elk Point-Jefferson has not lost a game, but now they're trying to cement another key victory when it comes to their season and continue on as they move throughout the rest of the year. I'm Heath Nimke. This is the Vermillion Tanagers pregame show here on Live Ticket TV. It's time for our commercial break, and when we come back, it's head coach John Brooks of the Vermillion Tanagers. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
This is the Vermillion Girls pregame show here on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live. I'm your host, Heath Nimke, as it's time to get into our second coach's interview. Head coach John Brooks, as his group is trying to rebound. Again, we talked about it last Tuesday, a week ago, about his group and the stretch they were going through and how important it was to pick up big victories after it seemed like things were maybe on the easier side for them, getting easy victories over Yankton, Baltic, and Madison. And then they picked up a nice victory over Lennox, but then the Hanson Classic ran into a great team, and they struggled shooting, and now things get no easier for the Vermillion girls, as tonight they take on Elk Point-Jefferson. We've already hit on it, 8-1 receiving votes in the media. Vermillion down to number 4, and then even have Lyman to end this week, who is number 3 in Class B. So this is going to be continue to be a tough stretch for the Vermillion girls, and they need their offense to come along. And one team that always does a great job in eliminating the offense is the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies. I did catch up with head coach John Brooks earlier today to talk about their struggles they had on Saturday and how they move forward and continue to build this program and try to get back to another state tournament. Here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Vermillion girls, John Brooks. Coach John Brooks, we talked about this tough schedule when it comes for your group, and I know that the Hanson Classic this past weekend was certainly not the way you wanted things to go. Just a tough night shooting, great defense that we saw in the Hanson Classic as well. But what was it about it for your group that you weren't able to get the offense going on Saturday evening?
Yeah, a lot of that you got to give Mike Pialuta credit with their pressure defense. And, it's one of those things where we got some really good looks, especially in the first half, and we just couldn't get them to go. We did not shoot the ball the way we wanted to. But like I said, with their pressure defense, it makes you shoot it quicker than you want to. And we just weren't patient enough in the half court. We weren't strong enough to make enough passes to really make them work. So you start shooting early, shooting quick threes, allowing them to run out and get the tempo going. That's exactly what they want. We kind of fell into that. So a lot to learn from that game, but it's time to move on. We got a big one with Elk Point here tonight.
Were you disappointed at all from your performance from playing in the Corn Palace the second time compared to the way you played the first time in the Corn Palace?
Well, the funny thing is we've never lost in the Corn Palace. We've been playing the last 3 years, and we've actually really shot it. We've shot it better there than we have at our home gym. We've always shot it well there. So last night was the first time we did not play well in the Corn Palace. So it's probably kind of, I don't know if we'll probably won't be in the Hanson. We've been in the Hanson Classic 3 years in a row now. So I guess we left on kind of a sour note, but we had really good success there and had some really fun games.
I think if they wanted you back, they would certainly have you back. You're always an exciting team to watch. As you mentioned, let's focus in on Elk Point-Jefferson. First, this huge matchup when it comes to the region. Have you continued to talk to the girls about what this type of matchup means, kind of like you did last week against Lennox?
Yeah, I think, we talk about those region games. At the end of the day, if you want to be where you want to be at in the region, when the season is done, you have to beat your region opponents. It's just that plain and simple. And, we get that opportunity again tonight. Once again, one of our goals is to win a conference tournament or regular season title. We're 5-0 in the conference heading into this game. So, there's a lot riding on it. Like we said, seed points, staying in the conference battle for a regular season championship and all those things. So, now it can be easy. It's never easy at Elk Point. They're going to play well, and we have to expect ourselves to play well.
Well, we talk about how it's never easy. I remember a couple of years ago, it went down to the 7th grader, Taylor Rupers, that was really able to step up in a big moment and eventually get a win for your group. And when you talk about Elk Point-Jefferson, I think with this group, it's so hard to key in on one specific player because they have 4 different girls. They're averaging double digits just in scoring, let alone the rest of their stats. So when it comes to head coach John Brooks, what's he trying to key on when it comes to the Huskies?
That's what makes them so difficult. Is all 5 of their kids, all 5 of them could be the leading scorer tonight. You don't know who it's going to be. They're very similar to us last year, and you just don't know who's going to put the ball in the hoop that night. So they're as balanced as an offensive team there is in Class A. They got really good guard play with Schmitz and Van Rokel. They have really good size post players with Kohlbaum and Ashley Brewer, and they can step out and shoot it. And then they put Courtney in a lot of spots on the wing and corner where she's just a flat-out shooter and can stretch the floor. So their balance is something that is very difficult to deal with. So you just got to be really solid defensively. You can't gamble. You can't be out of position. You just got to be ready to guard all of them at all times.
When looking at your group, of course, we talk about the struggles when it comes to just the other night in the Corn Palace, but focusing back in on this game, we have seen some of the bigger teams have success in keying in on 1 or 2 of your girls and shutting them down and trying to make the rest of the team work. How do you try to make those adjustments? Because I know Coach Newharth is going to do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I think the Lennox game was a big game for us where we got everybody going and everybody scoring. And that's something that we need moving forward. We know that the other teams are trying to take away Casey, Taylor, and Brooke, and that's okay. Those 3 kids are really good players. I'd be trying to do the same if I was coaching against them. But they're really smart players too, and they know how to get the other kids involved. We have the other kids in spots where they can be successful and score, and I think we saw that against Lennox. So as long as we can get everybody involved, get everybody the spots where they need to be successful, defend and rebound on the other side, we always feel like we can be in the game to win.
It's not quite a home game, but it always feels like it's kind of a home game just because of how close Elk Point, where we play at, is close to Vermillion. How excited are you to always play when it comes to playing in Elk Point?
Well, I think it's one of those games that you just have to love to be in. You gotta. It's got to be one of the ones that you look forward to. And especially when both teams are good. it's going to be a great crowd tonight. Elk Point's going to pack the place. I know Vermillion, we're going to travel very well. It's always a really fun girl-boy doubleheader. And like I said, if you're a competitive kid and a competitive person, these are the games that you want to play in and play well. So we're excited for the opportunity. We want to rebound after our game on Saturday, and no better place to do it than at Elk Point.
There he is once again. It's head coach John Brooks here on our pregame show talking about trying to rebound from what happened on Saturday. I know we've hit on it a little bit, but again, looking back at what happened in the Hanson Classic, the third year that Vermillion has competed in it, they've always been one of the premier games to see, but just could not get their offense going, including seeing Casey Hansen shoot 2 of 12 from the field. Roovers went 0 for 4. I mean, only one girl in double digits was Brooke Jensen with 14 points. And again, a team points of 34 points in that game, including scoring 2 points in the second quarter or 12 points for the first half. This is certainly a team that is looking to rebound and keep this ship headed in the right direction, because this is a very good Vermillion girls team. They knew they were going to be tested, and again, trying to continue to battle through these tough games. And the schedule does not get any easier. Still a lot of great games left on the schedule. I'm Heath Nimke. This has been the pregame show here on Live Ticket TV, and we talk about this schedule being tough. Now Vermillion gets ready for another tough opponent in the Point-Jefferson Huskies, who are receiving votes 8-1 so far on their season. They're looking to get a signature win in their schedule. They've had some good wins so far, but this would be the biggest one yet. Can they get the win over Vermillion, or can the Tanagers get headed in the right direction once again? Tip-off comes up here in just moments on Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the...
Well, now is not the time for any coach speak, anything like that. Both teams coming in with a goal and a plan, and both want to come out of this game 1-0 as we welcome you back to Point-Jefferson High School, home of the Huskies, as they host a Region 4A and DAC 12 doubleheader. Vermillion, again, like Heath Nimke said, taking the shortest trip of the season that they have, just less than 20 minutes down the road. As we got you your national anthem, and now starting lineups are happening first. We'll go to the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Vermillion Tanagers. It is the same starting 5 that we have seen from them all season thus far. A 5'8 senior guard, number 1, Casey Hansen, 11 points, 5 rebounds a contest. Senior guard, 6 foot, number 5, Maya Halverson, 3.5 points, 3 rebounds a ball game for her. A 5'5 freshman guard, number 11, just do it all, that is Taylor Roovers, 13 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 5 steals a contest for her. A 5'8 senior guard, number 12, Madigan Wallen, 3 points, 3 rebounds for her a ball game. And the 6'1 senior guard, number 33, Brooke Jensen, 16.5 points, 6.5 rebounds a contest for her. Doug Hansen, Carrie Jensen, Kelly Knutson, the assistant coaches. The head coach is John Brooks. We got you the starting lineups for the home team on the scoreboard, and receiving votes in the latest media poll. That is the Point-Jefferson Huskies. A 5'4 senior guard, number 1, Caitlin Van Rokel, 10.5 points, 2.5 rebounds a ball game. A 5'10 senior forward, number 4, Ashley Brewer, 10 points, 4 rebounds a contest for her. 5'11, a senior forward, number 14, Bentley Kohlbaum, just shy of 10 points, 2 rebounds a contest for her. A 5'5 junior guard, number 15, Sarah Schmitz, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists a ball game for her. And a 5'5 senior guard, number 32, Courtney Brewer, 5 points, 2 rebounds, a ball game for her. 8-1 are the Huskies. Jeff Campbell, Matt Hammett, the assistant coaches. The head coach is Jeff Newharth. 8-1 in receiving votes against 9-2 and number 4, according to the Class A media poll. The ball is up, and the tap is won by the Vermillion Tanagers. They are going left to right on your video screen, wearing their road red uniforms. Letters and numbers in white with black trim. Huskies in their home whites, letters and numbers in black and blue with some other black and blue trim as well. Roovers shot up and off the mark, no good. Rebound's going to be tapped out of bounds, and possession will stay with the with the Tanagers.
Cole, one thing I'm eyeing this matchup, you look at these two teams, they come in on paper scoring exactly 53 points a game for both of them. The only difference, Oak Point-Jefferson just has the edge on the defensive end, giving up 4 less points per game.
Brooke Jensen inside, her shot off the glass and good for 2. First 2 points for her, first assist for Casey Hansen, and we are 2-0 in favor of the Road Tanagers.
I always want to get Brooke Jensen going early, team leading scorer. Nice to see her get a bucket early on.
Schmitz looks in the corner, it's Brewer right side, now trying to look inside to another Brewer, and it's stolen away. Good defense there, and who other than Taylor Roovers comes up with it for the Tanagers. Hansen, left wing 3, that one's off the mark and no good. Rebound's going to be loose, it's going to be out of bounds. Last touched by the EPJ Huskies, so with 6:57 to go in the first. Tanagers keep the ball, and now a fresh shot clock for Vermillion.
3-point shot, another thing we'll be keeping an eye on. Again, Tanagers did not shoot the ball very well against Machpealuta. That's one thing that we're going to see them try and attack in this matchup.
Jensen tries passing it inside. It is tapped and stolen away. Ashley Brewer comes up with it. Quickly, right to left go the Huskies. Kohlbaum lost it for a moment, then got it back. Sarah Schmitz looking around. Van Rokel has it now right wing. Again, this is a EPJ team. We heard it in our pregame interview with head coach Jeff Newharth. They want to do a 5-out or a 4-out motion offense. Move the ball around. They have a 1.5 assist to turnover ratio. They want to move it around a lot. That's why you see a lot of balanced scoring for the Huskies. Turnaround jumper is good. Bentley Kohlbaum, first 2 points for her in the contest. We're all tied up at 2 apiece. 6:12 to play in the first quarter. Jensen, little high-low action with Hansen. She got it. Triple team, spins, shot off the back of the iron and no good. And the rebound is controlled by Courtney Brewer. 2 minutes gone, we're tied at 2. Thanks for tuning in, Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch, alongside me, Spencer Buley. Got you covered for both halves of this DAC 12 and Region 4A doubleheader. 2 steals already for the Tanagers, something we see quite often for them. And they got possession back going right to left.
Yeah, undoubtedly going to be cueing the aggression tonight. Didn't quite see it in that Machpealuta matchup, but we've seen it all season long. The Tanagers force so many turnovers. Great perimeter defenders as well. Just nice hands all around for Vermillion.
Wallen got the offensive rebound. Her shot was blocked away. Caitlin Van Rokel with the block. Now she passed it inside. Kohlbaum. Count the bucket and the foul for number 14 and the senior, Bentley Kohlbaum.
Yeah, Kohlbaum, another one of those players averaging just under 10 points. Cole, you talk about the balanced scoring on this Oak Point-Jefferson roster. Essentially 4 players averaging 10-plus points a game, and that's a really impressive number, something you do not see out of many teams at this level.
Free throw is off the mark for Kohlbaum, 78% free throw shooter on the season. As a team, the Huskies are 74.2%, 69 of now 94 on the season. So we're still at 4-2. Jensen drives, underhand lay, and that one's no good. Rebound going to be tapped out of bounds, and head referee Chad Gordon signals it in favor of the EPJ Huskies.
Yeah, nice attack by Jensen. I think she was wanting a foul inside. Kind of hard to tell. You know, we're up in the crow's nest up here, but may have been a foul just when you're attacking on the left side using the right hand. It's easy for a defender to swipe at your arm.
Jensen, left wing 3, that one's off the mark out of the steal of Roovers. Fight for the rebound is controlled by Sarah Schmitz. She wants to push, wide open lay-in, off the glass and good for 2. Bentley Kohlbaum, all 6 points for the Huskies, and it is now 6-2, 4.5 to go in the first quarter.
I think we're going to see a lot of transition basketball tonight as well. We know for sure that Vermillion loves to make those turnovers. They love to get the offense running, but Oak Point-Jefferson, they're not a slow team themselves. They play fast as well, and they're going to match that tempo.
Holding foul away from the ball called on Bentley Kohlbaum, first personal and first team fouls. She has all 6 points and all 1 foul for the Huskies here in quarter number 1. Jensen, top of the key, she'll pump fake, go left, now spin right. Halverson has it right side, lost it for a moment. Back to Jensen, right wing 3. That one's going to miss everything short. Rebound out of bounds. They're going to say no touch. And possession back to EPJ. Similar to what we saw in stages of that Lennox game and then in that last game Saturday against Machpealuta, Vermillion's offense struggling.
Yeah, they're not getting bad shots right now. It's just against Lennox especially, the shots really just did not fall. So this is not what you want to see as a Tanager fan, as head coach John Brooks says. There's another pull-up jumper that Taylor Roovers is pretty sure-handed at knocking those down.
Off the offensive rebound, Casey Hansen will pull up for 3. That one's off the mark and no good. Defensive rebound controlled by Caitlin Van Rokel. Still 6-2. We are officially halfway through this first quarter. Kohlbaum, right wing 3. She'll get it to go. All 9 points in the ball game for Bentley Kohlbaum. Again, comes in averaging just over 10 points a game. Very balanced offense coming into the season for this Husky squad. So far, not tonight, 9-2. The other way, we're going to get a foul called on the ground. Taylor Roovers thought she had the and one. Not going to get it.
Yeah, that would have been a huge bucket for Vermillion to at least see go in. Cole, I mean, it almost compounds like a snowball effect when you're in a shooting drought like this, because you think after last game you can wipe it off, come in, reset, start making some shots early on, but when they don't fall, and when the Huskies on the other end start knocking down three-pointers, that's when the stress levels get high, and that's when you start making uncharacteristic mistakes along with missing shots on offense.
Roovers' long 3 is off the mark. Rebound tapped around. Courtney Brewer comes up with it. She now has 2 boards in a ball game so far. 3:10 to play in the first quarter. It is 9-2 Huskies. And this is a Huskies team 8-1. Their only loss to number 1 Sioux Falls Christian as Brewer tries getting inside. It is stolen away by Jensen. Jensen stops at the 3-point line. Now over to Wallen. She'll take the right wing 3. Going to miss left and out of bounds into the little bit of an EPJ student section that we got, and turnover.
Yeah, those are the opportunities you've got to take advantage of. I think that head coach John Brooks probably wanted a shot inside there, at least one touch in the paint. We hear Budmeyer talk about it a lot for the boys team. Getting a touch in the paint increases offensive efficiency so much, so especially when you come off of a turnover and have a chance to take some of that momentum, getting a quality possession on offense is huge.
Lexi Hansen and Amara Thomas, the 2 regular subs for the Tanagers, they check in out of that dead ball, as well as for the Huskies, number 2, Molly Gary. She'll pull up for 3, and it rattles in. What a start for Molly Gary. Comes into the season averaging just 2 points coming off the bench. And just like that is a 10-point lead for Elk Point-Jefferson. 12-2 is the score. We've got 2:20 to play in the first quarter. Hansen drives middle, now to Jensen. Jensen, she'll pull up from 13, got it. All 4 points for the Tanagers come from Brooke Jensen. It's now 12-4, 2:10 to play. Light man pressure being applied by Roovers, probably just looking for a quick steal and a turnaround bucket. Can't get anything going. So now Tanagers might have a little bit of life on offense, but they need a defensive stop to do it. Gary to Kohlbaum. Now to Schmitz, right side. Lost it for a moment, guarded by Roovers. Now to Kohlbaum, guarded by Thomas. Drives in, up in her lay-in. No, bodies hit the floor, out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by Kohlbaum, and possession back to the Vermillion Tanagers.
Cole, you said it. That's a huge stop on defense, especially after getting a little bit of offensive momentum from Brooke Jensen. She's going to be the one that's going to dig this team out of that hole. She's the one who, against Machpialuta, when this team was struggling very badly shooting, really brought it to life. She put up 14 points, led the team big time in scoring, averages 16.5 per game. She's the veteran on this team. She's going to be the one to get him out of a hole like this.
Casey Hansen, her shot up and no good. Rebound tapped around. It's going to be controlled by Sarah Schmitz as I flip my headset around because my cord's on my right side, so my mic's on my right side now, and it feels very wrong. So I'm going to switch it back here at the quarter break. I'm just going to have to deal with the cord laying in front of me. Swinging around, Sarah Schmitz, left wing 3. Got it. 3 points now for Sarah Schmitz. It is a 15-4 ball game. And the good crowd on hand here in EPJ High School, loving it so far. It is 15-4. Under a minute to play. Jensen kicks over Lexi Hansen, who drives middle, trying to get it to her sister Casey. She'll try to respond. Off back iron and no good. And the rebound is controlled by Bentley Kohlbaum. First for her. About 11 seconds separate shot clock and game clock, so EPJ will have to get shot off before the quarter break. Kohlbaum guarded closely by Roovers. By Jensen. Can't quite get that steal. Van Rokel has it top of the key. Over to Gary. They're trying to look inside to Kohlbaum now. Back out Brewer. Kohlbaum pump fake. Now she'll drive middle. Kicks it out Schmitz. 4 to shoot. She'll pull up from 12. That one's off the mark and no good. Lexi Hansen with the rebound. Shot clock is off for the Tanagers. Likely going to be a Taylor Roovers ISO set. She'll drive, now back out, now kicks out. Casey Hansen, corner 3, off the rim, no. Rebound Kohlbaum, she'll heave it up, no good. as it was not in time. Your first quarter score, EPJ 15, the Vermillion Tanagers 4. We're going to step aside, back with second quarter action from EPJ High School in 60 seconds.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
There's no better way to bring in the new year than with a new Deere. And Grossenburg Implement has a huge selection of new John Deere equipment as well as specials on used equipment from John Deere and other brands. Get dependable agricultural, residential, and commercial equipment at Grossenburg Implement with 9 locations in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming. Stop by to visit with a sales professional today or go to grossenburg.com to browse the new and used inventory. Grossenburg Implement, where service is the other half of a great product.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back. It is 15-4 in favor of the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies after 1 quarter of play inside EPJ High School. Thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. We've got you covered for both halves of our doubleheader. 3 ball off the mark. Sarah Schmitz, no good. Rebound is loose. It's controlled by Elise Fornia, recently checked in out of the quarter break. Fornia, a 5'8 senior forward, 1.3 rebounds. A contest for her. 30 seconds gone. Vermillion finally get that defensive stop they were looking for in that first quarter. Jensen pulls up from 8. Awkward shot, no. John Brooks did not like that one. Rebound, Ashley Brewer.
Yeah, I don't think he's been thrilled with a lot of their shots they've chosen to take. But, Cole, this is going to be a huge quarter because if you go down another quarter like you did in the first, it's going to be 30-8, and you've dug yourself too big of a hole against too good of a team. So this is going to really be the story of the game this second quarter right here.
Again, recently, Tanager's not done well in the second quarter. They were outscored 16-2 in their game on Saturday against Makpialuta. A minute gone here in the first. 4 on the shot clock for the Huskies. Ball is out of bounds. Last touch by Vermillion. Courtney Brewer will throw it in. Again, 6:50 on the game clock. 4 on the shot clock. Brewer looking. Going to throw it in. Sarah Schmitz, left wing 3. Off back iron, no good. Rare miss for this Husky squad so far in this game. Again, 37.5 three-point shooting team on the season, and that's a low number for them. It was higher earlier in the year. Hansen gets it over to Wallen off a deflected pass. That one's no good. Schmitz with the rebound. She now has 4. Van Rokel surveys over to Ashley Brewer to a cutting Sarah Schmitz. She'll pull up. That shot will rattle in. Sarah Schmitz, 5 points for her. Now in the ball game, it is 17-4.
And you go back to that last shot by Madigan Wallen. It's the little ones when they're easy shots that you know you should make that just become more and more demoralizing each time. It's going to be a mental battle for this Vermillion team.
Hansen spins, free throw line jumper, no good. Courtney Brewer, 3rd rebound for her in the ball game. Huskies want to push it going right to left. Home whites, letters and numbers in black with some black and blue trim. Tanager's going left to right in their away reds as we got a shooting foul. It'll be called on Maya Halverson, first personal. Second team foul of the game, but the first of this quarter.
Yeah, you can just kind of see the frustration on the court, the lack of energy. All of it just starting to build up for Vermillion after a couple of games in which the offense has struggled overall.
Lexi Hansen checks in, as well as Bentley Kohlbaum is back in, and number 3, McKinley Hammett, will check into the ball game. About 1.5 points in the ball game for her. Van Rokel on the season, 74% free throw shooter. She is 0 for 1 in the game, now 1 for 2. First points of the ball game for Van Rokel, 14-point lead for the Huskies, 18-4. Roovers, left wing, now Halverson. Lexi Hansen has it right side. She'll drive free throw line now to Roovers. Roovers, top of the key, long 3. Back iron, no good. Ashley Brewer with her second rebound. It just seems like Spencer not taking a lot of quality shots, and when they are taking quality shots, they're just not going in.
Yeah, this is kind of what we saw against Lennox when Lennox went on that big run in the third quarter and made it really close with Vermillion despite them being up by 20 points. And you can't give up offensive rebounds here as well. We're going to get a timeout from John Brooks right on cue.
5th rebound for Sarah Schmitz, 7th point for her. It is a timeout called by John Brooks. We'll take it with him back to Elk Point-Jefferson High School in 60 seconds.
Do you have a...
Welcome back to the...
Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the
back Elk
student
Point
athletes.
Jefferson High School, home of the Huskies, where the Huskies have the big lead here in the first half of our Region 4A and NAC 12 doubleheader. It is 20-4 in favor of the girls team on the EPJ side. Roovers tries to respond to the John Brooks timeout. He has 4 remaining. She drives and is fouled and will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, we saw a lot of emotion out of John Brooks. I mean, he's fired up, and it's not necessarily about missing shots. At some point, it comes down to effort and focus, and it looked like, down there on the bench, he was pointing to the head, indicating that he wants his girls to be playing with more energy, more focus, giving their best foot, especially on the rebounds as well, because he was really frustrated after that last defensive possession in which they gave up multiple offensive rebounds, and it resulted in Elk Point-Jefferson points. 2
points for Roovers on the season, a 74% free throw shooter, 2 for 2 tonight. Just the 5th and 6th points for the Tanagers here in this ball game with 4:45 to go, or roughly thereabouts in the second quarter. Kohlbaum guarded by Jensen, got her to over-pursue. Now we're going to get a foul going to be called on the reach-in. Going to go on Jensen. It'll be her first personal, just the second foul of the quarter. John Brooks kind of gives that look of, I don't know about that one, Jim.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good foul to give if you're Brooke Jensen. I mean, you're maybe getting beat on the drive, but if I'm a coach in this situation, I kind of like seeing that foul. I like seeing, my players a little bit fired up, going after the ball, knowing that they got beat, and being frustrated about it, going after the steal to try and recover.
Off the block attempt by Roovers. Caitlin Van Rokel went up, held ball. So possession arrow alternating and pointing in favor of the Vermillion Tanagers. 4.5 to go here in quarter number 2. And I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley, the track star. Jumped and tied his personal record on Saturday. 17 feet, 1.5 inches. Roovers pulls up for 3. That one's good. 5 points now for her. She's the leading scorer for the Tanagers, and it's just now an 11-point game as the Tanager faithful below us try to get riled up.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge possession right there. That's a big shot for not only this team, but for Taylor Roovers to knock down, coming off of just a 2-point performance at Hanson.
Kohlbaum drives right, lay in good. 11 points for Bentley Kohlbaum. She's got half of the Huskies' points. First one in double figures. It is 22-9. And I'd just like to note that I complimented Spencer Buley on his nice pole vault jump, and he said nothing. So I'm assuming I got the height right because he didn't correct
That's true.
me.
No, right on. Right on. Yeah, love jumping at home. It's the Dakota Dome's a beautiful place to jump, and it is a great runway for us jumpers, especially. So
especially when there's not a dancing Pooh Bear
on
the video board with Gangnam Style playing in the background. I didn't have a.
We'll have we're gonna have some good celebrations come outdoor season if that thing comes on.
Oh, don't you worry. If I got anything to do about it, that thing might be on the entire meet again. It was the season opening meet for the indoor season. Maybe not season opening, but first home meet. The alumni meet in the Dakota Dome back on Saturday. Back here in EPJ High School, pull-up three by McKinley Hammett is good. Out of the assist of Bentley Colbaum, first 3 points for her. It is 25-9.
This is a great response by Elk Point-Jefferson. You see Vermillion get some life, get some momentum, bury them, bury some three-pointers. Vermillion's going to have to earn this. I mean, it's going to be a long road for this comeback, but it's good to see them playing with some life here in the second quarter.
Lexi Hansen inside. She'll fake right, spin left. Can't quite get it to fall. Rebound goes out to Roovers. Her shot's no good. And the rebound eventually controlled by Bentley Colbaum. Couple short misses. Now we got a whistle and out of bounds. I was looking down. Possession goes to Elk Point-Jefferson.
Yeah, I think the Huskies were calling for a foul, but setting up replay here,
yeah,
Cole?
What do you say, Spencer?
Let's do it.
You think I can get this thing set up properly?
I believe in you.
Well, I don't believe in me, so there's that. Well, here, let's do this for you.
There you go.
Bang, see if it works today. Did not work in Lennox. So a little trial and error, a little mid-game production meeting, you might say. So let's see if we can get that one up. Let's see if that one worked.
Close enough.
Yeah, sure seemed to work.
We just had to be on time. But
well, you know me. I'm always on time. Not. 25-9, 2:02 to play in the second quarter. And just approaching halftime, Tanagers still waiting to get in the double digits as a team score. Amara Thomas in the corner. She's double teamed. She'll try an underhand pass. Van Rokel stole it away, and now Van Rokel is bumped. Foul called. Second personal foul on Brooke Jensen and the third team foul on the Tanagers here in the first half. 1:48 to go. Pass went behind Courtney Brewer over there, but good awareness by Fornia. Get it back. Back to Courtney Brewer, now up to Colbaum, top of the key. Right corner, Van Rokel. Van Rokel looks and surveys. 90 seconds to go, 15 on the shot clock for Elk Point-Jefferson. Van Rokel, she'll drive left with 10. Bounce pass Colbaum. Lay in, blocked away by Lexi Hansen, but she got it back. Colbaum lay in good. 13 points, 3 rebounds for Bentley Colbaum, the 5'11 senior forward. And it is an 18-point lead for the EPJ Huskies with 65 seconds to go in the first half. Hansen, left wing three, got it. Lexi Hansen off the bench, first 3 points for her. Third leading scorer for the Tanagers, as in there are only 3 scorers for Vermillion so far in the ball game. 15-point game, 27-12.
Yeah, Lexi Hansen hitting that three is big. I believe we talked about it against Lennox as well, but when Vermillion's struggling shooting, their bench has to get involved, and that's what happened against Lennox. Their bench got involved. Some role players started picking up the pace a little bit, elevating their star players. That's what it's going to take here tonight if they want to get this comeback against Elk Point-Jefferson.
Got possession back. 8 seconds separate shot clock and game clock for the Vermillion Tanagers. Lexi Hansen takes a tumble on the screen. Over to Casey, now Roovers. Left lane line extended, tries to get it inside to Thomas, and it's tipped and stolen away. Sarah Schmidt's first steal for her. Now Courtney Brewer has it. Vermillion faithful one and over and back. Was never established on the left side of the court. Good call there. Good no call by Chad Gordon. Drive in, lay in by Caitlin Van Rokel, no good. Foul going to be called, and 2 free throws on the way for Van Rokel. First personal on Amara Thomas and the 4th team foul. 27-12, 6.5 to go. First free throw up and good. Again, Van Rokel, 74% free throw shooter in the season. She is 2 for 3 tonight. As Ashley Brewer checks back in, Colbaum will take a seat. Maybe got a couple little scratched up. We'll get that checked out on the far side of the bench. 3 points for Van Rokel, 6.5 to go. Roovers will bring it across, likely take the last shot. Euro step inside, lay-in is good for Taylor Roovers. She'll finish the half with 7 points, and your halftime score is a 15-point lead for Elk Point-Jefferson, 29-14 as both teams head to the locker room. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, it is first half stats and analysis that is on the way next. You're watching Tanager Basketball on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box.
Welcome to
Proud
Dakota
supporters
PC,
of all
where only we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nurtrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a check mark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student
Welcome
athletes.
back inside Elk Point-Jefferson High School here in Elk Point, South Dakota. We've got some third grade girls basketball going on right now. We're going to run a set inbounds play there on that left side. Your halftime score in the first half of a Region 4A and NAC-12 battle. EPJ leads the Vermillion Tanagers 29-14. Get you your first half stats as the EPJ pep band also in the house. Been playing in timeouts and also now at halftime. 14 points for the Vermillion Tanagers. Taylor Ruvers led the way with 7, all in that second quarter. A rebound and 2 steals for her. Brooke Jensen with 4 points, all in that first quarter. And Lexi Hansen with 3 points and a rebound and a block as well. Casey Hansen with an assist and a steal. Madigan Wallen with 3 rebounds and a steal for her as well. They shot 2 for 2 from the free throw line. They score 4 in the first and 10 in the second for their total of 14 points. For Elk Point-Jefferson, their leading scorer was Bentley Kohlbaum, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist for her in that first half. Sarah Schmitz, 7 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and a steal as well. Caitlin Van Rokel, Molly Gary, and McKinley Hammett all with 3 points in that first half, and that rounds out their scoring. Other stats, 3 rebounds for Courtney Brewer and 2 for Ashley Brewer, as well as a steal in there as well. They shot 3 of 5 from the free throw line in that first half. They score 15 in the first, 14 in the second for their total of 29. They lead 29-14. Again, this is an Elk Point-Jefferson team. Comes in 8-1 on the season. Their only loss to number 1, Sioux Falls Christian. Vermillion Tanagers come in 9-2. Your halftime score 29-14. As I turn it over to Spencer Buley. Spencer, the only positive you can really take out of this first half so far for the Vermillion Tanagers is that in that second half they finally reached double figures and they finished with 14.
Yeah, Cole, I didn't feel like this second quarter was a death quarter. The first quarter, you're wondering after that, you've only got 4 points. But to come out in the second quarter and score 10, to your point, I think it was a better job. I mean, they're obviously still down 15, and this is not a spot you want to be against a team that's as good as Point-Jefferson, but this team can catch fire, and when they do, they are incredibly hard to stop. But what I think is more concerning is the defensive end of things. They only give up 40.6 points per game. Point-Jefferson is already very close to that number. They have got to pick it up on the defensive end, got to get back to forcing some turnovers. We saw a lot of fouls. That wasn't necessarily very characteristic of Vermillion. They're usually a cleaner team on the defensive end, but we also saw them on offense turn the ball over a lot. Again, very uncharacteristic. The shooting is shooting. At some point, you just have to play the percentages, but they've got to be able to take care of the basketball, get rebounds, and play a little bit cleaner.
Again, Point-Jefferson comes in on the season. They average 53 points a game, well on their way for that. They allow 36 points a game. They are well on their way for that. This is a Vermillion Tanagers team, again, playing a little bit uncharacteristic, but this is to be expected from Point-Jefferson. This is a very good team. Maybe some even say, me included, flying under the radar a little bit here in Class A with that only one loss. This is a solid squad. It's going to be interesting to see what the halftime speeches will entail on either side.
Yeah, Bentley Kohlbaum, especially for Point-Jefferson, is the one right now. I mean, she's got 13 points. She's 5'11". She's very hard to stop down low scoring-wise, but also on her own offensive rebounds. She kind of plays the way that we see Brooke Jensen play a lot of, where, maybe if you miss a shot inside, you're right there to grab your own rebound, put it back up, walk out with 2 points. So, again, Vermillion, a very tall task ahead of them. They've got to be able to clean things up a little bit and also find a way to stop Bentley Kohlbaum on offense.
Thank you, Spencer. Let's get some scores from around the state of South Dakota. Brought to you by the SD Score Feed app, thanks to our partnership with SD Score Feed. You see all those scores in the bottom of your screen. Mount Vernon-Plankton leads Redfield 8-4 end of the first quarter there. Hamlin leads DeSmit 30-14 at halftime. Wagner leads O'Neill, Nebraska 30-18 at the half. Howard over Hanson 28-9 at the half as well. And not very many area scores being reported. Some games to note. Spearfish will host Machpelah-Luta in a Class A and AA clash in that one. Del Rapids and West Central will take on each other. Canton and Elkton Lake Benton in an area matchup as well. And that is about all that's going on the girls' side of things. In AA, Harrisburg leads Roosevelt 24-12 at the half, and Huron leads Brookings 22-20 at the half. And at the half in Centerville, number one Centerville, who is 12-0, they lead the Freeman Flyers 35-21. We're going to step aside for about 2 minutes. When we come back, it is second half action between the Huskies and the Tanagers. That is on the way next on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to Elk Point, South Dakota. Vermillion Tanagers live and live ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. Second half action just about to get underway. The EPJ Huskies will start with the basketball going left to right on your screen. You hear that? That's what I'm talking about.
I do hear that.
See? You thought I was crazy when I was telling you that. 29-14, the second half gets underway. Again, EPJ now going left to right on your screen. Vermillion right to left. Roovers tries getting a steal, knocks it out of bounds. Sarah Schmitz. Courtney Brewer will throw it in for the Huskies. Just 10 seconds gone. They get it long out to the Husky logo at midcourt for Caitlin Van Rokel as we get, there we go, got the scoreboard updated. It is quarter number 3. Drive left, lay in, off the glass, good for 2. Caitlin Van Rokel, now 5 points for her in the ball game. Quick 2-0 lead for the Huskies. It is 31-14.
Yeah, great drive there by Van Rokel, using her speed, using her agility to get around Madigan Wallen. Knew it was a little bit of a mismatch out on the perimeter and took advantage of it.
Jensen stepped through underhand lay-in, could not get those to fall in the first half, but got it to fall here in the third quarter. It is 2-2 now here in the third, back and forth. We go again. Vermillion needs to step it up defensively and start making some of the easy buckets on the offensive side if they want to give themselves a chance against this very balanced scoring Elk Point-Jefferson squad. Ashley Brewer, pump fake. Now she'll drive in. Took 3 steps, no call. Rebound, ball is loose. Jensen comes up with it. We'll credit her with her second steal of the ball game. Roovers to Jensen. Jensen between the legs. She'll drive left, kick out. Roovers, right wing 3. Got it. Double figures now for Taylor Roovers. That'll get the Tanager fans right below us on their feet a little bit, make some noise. Now a 12-point game. There we go as the noise keeps on coming from directly below us.
It's what Vermillion's going to need is not only baskets, but baskets back-to-back. Get themselves into a rhythm and get some momentum.
Ashley Brewer now back out. Schmitz. Kohlbaum's got it again. She was the hot hand in the first half. 13 points. 3 rebounds for her. Back to her. Couple steps, ball knocked out of bounds off of Casey Hansen. So possession will stay with the Huskies. 6:08 to play in the third. 10 on the shot clock for Elk Point-Jefferson. Calling on an elevator screen. That's exactly what they ran. Schmitz kicks out Van Rokel, right wing 3. Shea answer back. 8 points now for Caitlin Van Rokel. 5 of them here in this second half. It is back up to a 15-point ball game, 34-19.
Yeah, that's the one thing about upping the aggressiveness and the intensity of your defense is you can't overcommit in one direction and leave any Husky really open from outside.
Halverson drove baseline with no intention, and ball is stolen away by Van Rokel. Called her name a lot here in the second half. Back to a 15-point game. Tanagers need a defensive stop with 5.5 to go in the third. Van Rokel, ball was dead. Now back out Sarah Schmitz. Now back to her. Van Rokel's got it guarded loosely by Jensen. They're going to switch. Now she's got Wallen. Bounce pass to a cutting Schmitz. Kicks out. 3 ball. Got it. Ashley Brewer, first 3 points of the ball game for her. And that's the danger of this balanced EPJ team. Anybody can step out there and nail one.
Well, I tell you what, that was next level speed, athleticism, vision, everything there from Sarah Schmitz. Got the backdoor baseline cut, got double teams, knew that somebody was open. That's a big response from Casey Hansen as well.
First 3 points of the ball game for Casey Hansen. So back and forth we go again. This was 29-14, just 3 minutes of game time ago. Thanks for tuning in on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. Again, we got a whole second game after this one. And the 3 is good. Bentley Kohlbaum, left wing. 16 points for Kohlbaum in the ball game. By far and away the leading scorer here tonight, 40-22.
Yeah, this is when it gets really tough to play defense, when you know that girls like Bentley Kohlbaum can beat you inside, but you also can't leave them open. It really it forces your defense to stretch out, and then you just have to play really elastic, being able to cover the perimeter as well as the paint.
Roovers pulls up from 10 feet. She now has 12 points in the ball game. Huskies looking around, outside, 3 ball, got it. Sarah Schmitz, she's now in double figures. She has 10. And the Huskies have scored 14 points here in the first half of the third quarter.
I mean, this is a clinic, Cole. This is, at some point, as the Tanagers, there's nothing you could do about it. I mean, if they're going to knock down every three that they take, I mean, this task is just going to get taller and taller as the day goes on.
Jensen, right side, she'll step back, 16 foot. She got poked, and now we're going to get a late whistle called as Jensen kind of flinches, and she's going to hold her eye. Second personal on Kohlbaum, just the first team foul of the quarter. And now they're going to grab a towel or something of the sorts. Sub in is Molly Gary, and Courtney Brewer will check out. So they're just making sure that Jensen's eye is okay. We're just going to check with things as we also have a sub in for Vermillion as Halverson goes out. So they're going to say the ball goes underneath the hoop. Jensen looks okay, and that's an official's timeout in UFC. Was watching some of that on Saturday. A couple of pokes in the, not quite the title fight at the end, but I believe the second one, whatever you want to call that one. Again, I'm not very well versed in my UFC yet, but I enjoy watching it greatly.
See, well, there's nothing worse in the moment.
Wallen can't get her short shot to fall. Schmitz with her 6th rebound of the ball game. EPJ looks inside. Kohlbaum lost it, got it back. Count the bucket and the foul for Bentley Kohlbaum. 18 points for the senior.
I mean, Vermillion started this quarter well. They really did. I mean, Taylor Ruver is coming out, almost forcing a quick steal on the first possession, knocking down some shots, creating some turnovers, playing some good defense. But, I mean, right now you just have to give all the credit in the world to Elk Point-Jefferson and their shooting. I mean, there's just been no stopping them from anywhere on this court right now.
Kohlbaum got the free throw, 19 points for her. They have scored 17 so far in this third quarter. They scored 15 in the first. 14 in the second quarter. Lexi Hansen looks inside of Thomas. One dribble, her shot up and no good. Quick shot there again, 7th rebound for Schmitz. She wants to push, she'll pull up from 16, going to be just short, no good. Casey Hansen with her first rebound of the ball game. Ruvers trying to call some offense, and it's really nothing special that EPJ has done defensively here in this ball game. It's been a lot of man and maybe a little man switched zone, whatever you want to call that one.
Yeah, it's just been one of those nights for Vermillion, and it feels like they've kind of had a couple of them now. I mean, they did get the job done against Lennox, but, you know, Lennox went on a big run and made that game close, and it felt closer than that score presented as far as the second half goes. But it's just a tough stretch for them right now. Nothing is falling. They can't buy a bucket.
Molly Gary now 5 points for her in the ball game, and the Huskies have doubled up the Tanagers 48-24 with 2 minutes to go here in the third. Step back three by Jensen. Another forced shot, and that one's off the mark and no good. Gary controls the rebound, her first of the ball game. It has been all EPJ in this quarter. Tanagers have scored 10, but the EPJ Huskies have scored 19. Shot up and out, rebound goes out of bounds. Elise Fournier will check in. Ashley Brewer will check off. Tanagers bring it across with Taylor Ruvers. Crosses the Husky logo. Now has it right wing. Lets the offense get set up. Jensen looking inside to Casey Hansen. Back out Lexi. Left wing three. Going to be too long. Going to miss everything. Rebound will fall into Ruvers' hands. 13 on the shot clock for her. She drives and now spins back. Jensen's got it top of the key. Couple shuffle steps and good call there by our Zebra. Travel called. Turnover and possession back to the EPJ Huskies. And not sure if my scorebook is 100% correct, but Ruvers' second offensive rebound is just the 7th total team rebound for them in the ball game. Well, take that with a grain of salt, but according to my count, Sarah Schmitz with 8 has more than the entire Tanagers team combined.
It's felt that way at times. I mean, again, I'll take your word for it, Cole. You're usually pretty accurate, and Taylor Ruvers definitely stepped out of bounds there, got away with one.
And I was looking down, but I'll take your word for it. You're usually kind of accurate.
Maybe she kept the heel up. You know, the old I believe it's a Sean Elliott three-pointer in Spurs history, one of the most famous ones.
It's going to fall. Van Rokel, her first personal foul, and the second team foul. Casey Hansen will go to the free throw line. Courtney Brewer and Ashley Brewer will check in for the Huskies. 42.2 to play in the third, 48-26. Just the third attempted free throw in the ball game for the Tanagers, as it is up and good. 6 points now for Casey Hansen. This is a Tanagers team that has attempted 164 free throws on the season and just 3 here tonight. Lob pass underneath, trying to look for Ashley Brewer. That shot's off the mark and no good, so out of bounds. Shot clock is off now for the Tanagers. Going to call a 1-4 low set. Roovers at the logo. Now she'll drive with 20. Lexi Hansen, lay in good. 5 points now for Alexis Hansen. 48-29. Full court pressure being applied by Roovers. Brewer gets it across for the Huskies. 5 on the clock, now 4. Fornia stolen away Roovers. She's got it with 1. She'll pull up left wing 3. Good if it goes, and it's off the side of the rim. And no good, and that is how the third quarter will end. It is 48-29 in favor of Elk Point-Jefferson. We're going to step aside. Back in a minute to EPJ High School.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Elk Point-Jefferson High School here in the shortest away trip for the Vermillion Tanagers they will have all season. And they are down big, and a long miss by Madigan Wallen. It is 48-29 here in the fourth quarter as the fourth quarter starts. Thanks for tuning in. Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch, Spencer Buley, my cameraman and producer. So I think you got some chicken scratches on his sheet there as well for some stats. You can consider him those.
Just taking your word for it, just copying them down as you said them at halftime.
Ashley Brewer kicks over to Caitlin Van Rokel, now the third Husky in double figures. She has 11 points. It is now 51-29. Halverson inside Casey Hansen off the glass and good for 2. She's got 8 points. Back down to a 20-point game again. Tanagers need points. They need them back-to-back. They also need back-to-back defensive stops.
That's the key.
Brewer shot up and no good, but she got back her offensive rebound. Van Rokel drives off the glass. That one's no good. Everybody just stared at the rebound, and now Kohlbaum gets the offensive board. And she's fouled.
Yep, Cole, that was the key, defensive stops. And the struggles on this end of the floor continue for Vermillion, especially in rebounding. 2 offensive rebounds there to go around, and there's no way a team as good as Elk Point-Jefferson is going to walk away empty-handed if you give them multiple opportunities.
6 offensive rebounds now in the ball game for the Huskies of Elk Point-Jefferson. 20 points now for Bentley Kohlbaum, and make it 21. They're 6 for 8 from the free throw line, 23-point lead. It is 53-31. Jensen top of the key, over to Wallen on the right side. Guarded very loosely. She'll pull up for 3, off back iron and no. And the rebound is controlled by Courtney Brewer. 4th rebound of the contest for her. Van Rokel lobs inside Kohlbaum. Lay in, no. Rare miss for her, but she fought back. Credit her with an offensive rebound and just about an assist as the three-pointer was off. Rebound tapped out of bounds.
At some point, Cole, it comes down to being strong with the ball as well, because some of these are Vermillion's in position to rebound the ball, but they just get it poked away, taken away in some form or fashion. Lexi Hansen had that one and then just had it tipped away, and Kohlbaum was able to grab it for another Oak Point Jefferson offensive board.
Jensen inside. Scoop underhand lay-in is good. 8 points for her in the ball game. Had the only 4 in that first quarter. Had 2 in the third and now 2 here in the fourth. 20-point ball game, 53-33. Kohlbaum pass it over to Schmitz. Schmitz guarded by Roovers. Body's hitting the floor. Kohlbaum lay-in, no. A lot of contact. She'll hit the floor. Roovers has it. 2-on-2 the other way. She'll pull up left elbow. Good. Timeout called by John Brooks. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll step aside and take it with him. Back to EPJ in 30.
Welcome back.
There's
to
no
the
better
Vermillion
organization
Booster Club
that
Press
gives
Box.
back to the
Proud
student
supporters.
athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports
Welcome
games.
back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to Elk Point. I'm Cole Larsch alongside me, Spencer Buley. Spencer, Vermillion finally getting maybe a little bit of momentum offensively, but they got to start getting more defensive stops.
I don't think they're out of this, Cole. I don't think that Vermillion, until the final couple of minutes of a basketball game, is ever out of it, just because the way that this team has shown that they can shoot the three-pointer. We've seen Oak Point Jefferson shoot it lights out all night, but just like that, Vermillion can create turnovers, and we know that they can catch fire from behind the arc. It just hasn't happened.
Stolen by Brooke Jensen, her third. She was open cutting inside, did not get the ball. Now Roovers thought about the three, now to Lexi Hansen. She'll drive in, now she'll pass it to Casey. Step through, floater, no. Rebound, tipped out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by the EPJ Huskies. Maybe got a little bit of a break there. Did the Vermillion Tanagers. Felt like Casey Hansen was in the lane for about 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's one you don't see called a ton in high school, but see if Vermillion can take advantage of it.
Hansen got the inbound pass and put the shot up and good. She now has 10 points. 4-0 run for the Tanagers. And so here we go, 1-2-2 zone full court press for Vermillion, trying to create some turnovers. Huskies able to lob it over to Ashley Brewer. Now they'll drop into a 1-3-1 zone defense, something we have not seen from them very much in this ball game.
They're getting aggressive. They've got to force turnovers.
Ashley Brewer, skip pass, Van Rokel 3, off back iron, no. Not the pass you want to give up if you're in a 1-3-1, especially against EPJ. Roovers tries to respond. Her three-pointer left side's off the mark and no good. Ashley Brewer with the rebound. Still, by technicality, a 4-0 run for the Tanagers. Kohlbaum, left corner 3. Rare miss for her. Rebound tapped around. They're going to say last touched by Brooke Jensen.
Yeah, Cole, at some point your defense becomes try and create a turnover, and you're going to let them shoot. You're going to leave people open, especially in a 1-3-1 when you're attacking the perimeter as hard as they are right now. You're just going to have to pray and hope that they start missing threes.
Kohlbaum gets the inbound pass. Again, fresh shot clock for the Huskies, and we're halfway through this fourth quarter. Brewer gets the pass. Good move there, and the lay-in is off the glass on the left side. 5 points now for her in the contest. It is 55-37. Lexi Hansen tries getting inside the Casey. Pass stolen away. Ashley Brewer tipped it out of bounds. Casey Hansen will throw it in. 3:45 on the game clock. 27 on the shot clock. Roovers to Jensen. Jensen drives baseline. She'll pull up from 8. Missed it way long. Called out a pass to Wallen. She tries getting it back to Jensen, and it's stolen away. Caitlin Van Rokel Third steal for her in the ball game. Inside Kohlbaum lay in. She can't get it to fall. And now both teams, just like how they got really hot really fast, they have gone very cold. Ruvers long, no good, short. Ashley Brewer with her 5th rebound. Both teams chucking it up there and praying, it seems like, a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not – Vermillions are not getting answered continually. I mean, neither are Elk Point-Jefferson's right now, but it's going to be a 3-point contest back and forth. And as you're saying, Cole, no one really able to hit right now.
Loose ball going to be called in the lane. Alternating possession faces the Huskies. Mara Thomas checks in the ball game. Madigan Wallen will check off. 18-point lead for the Huskies has been this way for about a minute and a half, maybe even 2. 2:57 to play in the 4th. Huskies throw it in, Van Rokel. Tanagers drop back into that 1-3-1. Tried getting a pass into Courtney Brewer, and she was trying to set a screen, but it's saved by Van Rokel, and Van Rokel is fouled. First personal on Casey Hansen, just the first team foul. The second. Here in this 4th quarter. Van Rokel, left wing, 2:40 to play in the second. EPJ very content with just passing it back and forth and slowly breaking down this this Vermillion zone. Brewer inside. They're going to say a double dribble on her as she kind of fell down to the ground. Tried dribbling before she got back up. So a turnover and possession back to Vermillion, but it feels like EPJ just took a minute off the clock.
Yeah, I mean, 18-point lead, 2:27 left to play. I mean, at this point, Elk Point-Jefferson's just thinking as long as we run out the shot clock and don't turn the ball over in the process, this game's over.
Casey Hansen will take the long 3. It is the 6th rebound for Bentley Kohlbaum, and now even the fans have started to relax a little bit. It's gone quiet except for the occasional shout from John Brooks and Jeff Newharth.
Yeah, Vermillion's sagged off a little bit as well. Not necessarily forcing anything up top.
Timeout called by head coach Jeff Newharth with 1:53 to go. We're going to be back to EPJ High School in 60 seconds. You're watching Tanager basketball.
Join the Vermillion Boot.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics. And
Van Rokel lost it for a moment. Kohlbaum got a max shot clock violation. That's a good time as out of the timeout, John Brooks says, all right, the white flag has been waved. We got some 5 JV players. And now back on the court are the 5 JV players for the EPJ Huskies. Again, these 2 JV squads played here in the big gym. 4 o'clock with an 18-point lead and 100 seconds to go. It'll be some second string action here at EPJ. Izzy Richardson, Shaylin Hinseth, Delaney Smith, Callie Schultz, and Sydney Johnson, the 5 that are out there for the Vermillion Tanagers. McKinley Hammett, Samantha Marks, Elise Fornia, Paige Jacobs, and Molly Gary, the 5 that are out there for the EPJ Huskies with 65 seconds to go. Inside, shot up and good for Shaylin Hinseth. 55-39, maybe take a little bit of a sting off that final score.
Won't take much off of it, I'll tell you that. This
Nope.
has been tough, a tough couple of games for Vermillion Tanagers. And Cole, it's so hard in a sport like basketball because frustration does not help. It does not help on the court at all. You have to be able to remain cool, calm, and collected, run a systematic offense, take good shots. The more you tilt, the more your struggles compound. It's not like any other sport necessarily, especially, you look at football for boys at least. It's not like that where you can just go and hit somebody really hard. You've got to remain on the court and keep your composure.
And unfortunately for Vermillion, the road does not get any easier. Sure, they have Thursday off. It is just a boys' game against Sioux Falls Christian, but they go up to Irene for the Irene Wakanda Classic and take on the number 3 team in Class B in the Lyman Raiders, making the trip down there as the score has officially gone final. 57-39 going to be your final score here tonight. The Vermillion Tanagers will fall to 9-3. The Huskies will move to 9-1 on their season. As I was saying, doesn't get much easier, but you get some more breaks. You play Tuesday, you play Saturday, and then you play next Thursday against Del Rapids. So sure, the schedule might space out a little bit, but it does not seem to get any easier for this Tanager squad.
No, it doesn't, and they're going to have a short-term memory. That's the only way. Budmeyer, we talked to after the boys matchup, he said, let a loss like the boys took against Lennox sink in, but for the girls now having 2 in a row, at some point you gotta have a short-term memory. You gotta wipe them off the board. The losses have already hit, so they're already frustrated. The chip is on their shoulder, but it's just a matter of coming out, getting fresh, and executing next game.
And for Elk Point-Jefferson, does this maybe put them up in more of the eyes of the rest of the state of South Dakota? Does this promote them to be maybe more eyes are looking at this team saying, all right, they're 9-1 and they're 1 loss to the number 1 team?
Absolutely, Cole, because this was not a game that they just won. This was a game they dominated. So there's a big difference between, looking at a game, they beat Vermillion. This is, they dominated Vermillion. And despite the struggles, Vermillion is still a very talented basketball team. So this is big for the Huskies. This is big for Elk Point-Jefferson.
We're just getting the final stats tallied up. We'll get them for you here in a second as we turn over. Quickly, Spencer, before we get the stats, your quick thoughts on this upcoming boys matchup. Should be an entertaining one. Both teams trying to almost recover from what was their last game.
Yeah, both teams coming off of tough last games. I'm really interested to see how the boys respond tonight. They took kind of their first hard loss of the season, hitting running clock against Lennox. That was tough. And as I just mentioned, talking about the girls' game, Budmeyer said, you got to let it sink in a little bit. You got to let it hurt so that you come out ready, you come out focused. I think, in a way, it's more of a mental challenge than anything. See if they can pick back up on the shooting. But Elk Point-Jefferson, again, this is not a team to sleep on, especially not if you're Vermillion coming off that loss. So I think we have another good one right in front of us.
Let's get you your final stats here in the girls' matchup. 57-39 the final score. First for the Vermillion Tanagers, leading scorer was Taylor Roovers. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 steals for her in the ball game. Jensen, Casey Hansen was the next scorer with 10 points, a rebound, an assist, and a steal. Brooke Jensen, 8 points, a rebound, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Lexi Hansen with 5 points, Shaylin Hinseth with 2, and that rounds out the scoring. They score 4 in the first, 10 in the second, 15 in the third, and 10 in the fourth for their total of 39 points. Again, they will fall to 9-3 on the season. For the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies, 57 points. Their leading scorer was Bentley Kohlbaum, 21 points, 6 rebounds for her. For Caitlin Van Rokel, 11 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, 3 steals, and a block. Sarah Schmitz with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists for her. Courtney Brewer with 4 rebounds in the ballgame as well. Ashley Brewer, 5 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. McKinley Hammett with 3, and Molly Gary with 5 rounds out the total scoring. 15 in the first, 14 in the second, 19 in the third, 9 in the fourth for their total of 57 points. Again, they will move to 9-1 on their season. As we get you set and we flip it over back to Heath Nimke for a boys pregame show He will also catch up with both head coaches, Joel Havman and Jay Drake. That comes up right now. You're watching Tanager basketball on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Well, after a great girls basketball game here on Live Ticket TV between Vermillion and Elk Point-Jefferson, it's time to get you set for the second game of our doubleheader between the Huskies and the Tanagers. And let's waste no time and hop right into our first interview before we get to head coach Jay Drake. We get into first-year head coach Joel Haberman, who has taken over for the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies after Jake Otkin, a longtime head coach there for the Huskies, decided to retire, if you will, from the basketball side of things and spend more time with his family as his kids now get older and get closer to that high school level. But it was fun catching up with Coach Joel, who has been over at Morningside as an assistant men's basketball coach for the past 3 years, now jumping into the high school side. His team is 4-7 overall, but don't let the record fool you. This has been a very good Huskies basketball team so far this season. We caught up with him earlier afternoon to talk about his team and the success they have had and what they need to beat the Vermillion Tanagers tonight. Coach, you get ready to take on the Vermillion Tanagers, a huge matchup when it comes to the Region 4A and also in the DAC 12. But first, let's begin with you. You're a new year, first-year head coach for the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies. So let's begin. How has the transition been moving from college to high school and getting this head coaching position?
It's been great. I'm surrounded by a bunch of guys that want to compete, that want to show up every day and fight for whatever they get. I'm surrounded by good coaches, good people in the community. So it's been fairly smooth. Losing some games makes it tough, but at the same time, if I had a locker room full of guys that pouted and didn't want to work hard after losing a game, that would be even harder. But these guys show up every day wanting to compete. Good bunch of guys, so I can't really complain on my end.
We talk about your record, 4-7 overall, but let's be clear, 3 of those games were lost by 6 points or fewer, so this could easily be 7-4 for your group. What is it that you just can't quite get it over the hump when it comes to those close games so far this season?
I don't know if I'd put one thing as a major problem to getting where we are now, but down the stretch in games, I think that we can probably take care of the ball a little bit better. I think that's kind of been part of our Achilles heel is just not getting shots on the offensive end and leading to transition points for the other team. But as of late, it's gotten better. So that's something that we work on every day. So it's something that we know that is somewhat of a weakness of ours is just being able to take care of the ball. And our guys have bought into the fact that that's how you win games. You take care of the ball, you get shots at the rim. Good things are going to happen. So they've been passing the ball better, sharing it offensively, and ultimately that's how you get wins, is being able to compete and still play smart at the same time and being able to finish off teams down the stretch.
When we take a look at your squad before we talk more about this Vermillion matchup, you have a lot of seniors with your group, but also a lot of guys that have gotten their opportunity to play varsity over the past several years that aren't seniors. How has that mixture been in when it comes to leadership and also experience on the court?
I think it's been great. I think that having a core group of seniors is vital in a small program. Just having guys that have been around the block and have played valuable minutes, and then being able to pass it on to the younger guys is huge. So we have some young guys that play, but obviously they're taking the lead of the seniors that have played varsity minutes and knowing what the expectation is. And we talk to our seniors often about, hey, it's a new coach and a new staff, but at the same time, we'll get to look back on this day 5 to 10 years from now and say, hey, these guys were the foundation of what we were trying to build here. So the win-loss record might not look the prettiest, but at the same time, we know what we're building and what we're trying to do, and ultimately trying to stick to our identity and not trying to be anybody else, but the EPJ Huskies and what we want this program to look like. So the mixture of young and old has been very, very good. Our old guys lead vocally and by example, and just the way they show up to work every day has been a great example for our young guys.
Looking at the Vermillion Tanagers, this boys team comes in 7-2, including a loss just this past Thursday against the Lennox Orioles. But one thing that has been very exciting about this Vermillion boys team, besides that game against Thursday, and Coach Drake would admit it, would be their shooting. They can score a lot of points very, very quickly. How do you look to shut down this offense?
Yeah, very dangerous team offensively. When you look at their lineup, you say, all right, who can't shoot it? And you can't really say that about any of their guys. So that's a huge advantage for them, just knowing that if someone's open, there's a pretty good chance of it going in. So just getting a hand up on all their guys, knowing the scout, knowing our personnel is going to be huge. And knowing the guys that can create shots for them, not allowing them to touch the paint to kick out for open threes will be huge. And transition opportunities, they're really good when they can play fast and share the ball in transition. So being able to slow them down, not let them get to the rim, but also getting out to the perimeter and just contesting shots. We think that in a high school game, if we can force teams to shoot 33s a night, that's tough on them too. Being able to have to make shots, but also these have to be contested shots and not just hands down with guys in rhythm, because this team's good enough to make anybody pay. So we're going to have to be really good defensively.
Offensively for your group, this is, we've talked about, maybe not the most explosive offense there is out there in Class A. You're not going to score a lot of points, but you can sure make it a rock fight. And as you just alluded to it, hey, make them shoot a lot of threes, make them uncomfortable. So what does it take for your group to beat the Vermillion Tanagers?
Yeah, we're going to have to be really sharp. Offensively, defensively. Offense, we have to take care of the ball, make sure we get a shot every possession, just so we have a chance at scoring or getting an offensive rebound. Defensively, just being locked in on our game plan, getting to the right spots. We know the areas of our defense where we can get hurt and just covering those up. So we're going to have to play really, really well. We know that just by looking at our schedule. We've had to do that plenty of times. So this is another challenge with another good team coming to our place. So we're excited and ready to go compete and see what we can do.
Once again, that is head coach Joel Havman here on our pregame show. He is the new head coach for the Point-Jefferson boys basketball team. Again, coming over from Morningside, where he was an assistant men's basketball coach there for the past 3 years. We continue on here on the boys pregame show as it's time to get over to head coach Jay Drake. How does this group rebound after they had an atrocious night offensively Thursday against Lennox? Here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Vermillion boys, Jay Drake. Let's go back to last Thursday, taking on the Lennox Orioles. We expected a big game, and all of a sudden the Vermillion offense just completely disappeared. Give a lot of credit, though, to the Lennox defense. They did a lot of great things to eliminate the offense for Vermillion. But, Jay, what happened with the guys that just couldn't get things going against Lennox on Thursday?
Yeah, tough night for us, obviously, and, disappointing because it was one of those games we had talked about beforehand. Obviously, a region rival and a conference rival, and with the seeding in the region this year, it's huge, and especially when you get into like head-to-head games, those are huge swing games because from a PowerPoint standpoint, going one way or the other, and difficult night for us. I think you hit it on the head. You got to give them credit for part of that. And yet, after one quarter, it was one of those games that, honestly, going into it, you thought if you played well, you'd have a chance in the fourth quarter and hope to make plays and see what can happen. But it also shows how quickly a game can get away from you. After one, we're tied up at 14, and kind of got the game where you want it and where you think it's going to be kind of all night. And, we weren't terrible defensively, probably still could have been a little bit better on the defensive end, but anytime you go 2 quarters in the middle of the game with only 8 points, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And we only scored 3 points in the second quarter and only had another 5 in the third quarter. And again, some of that, you got to give them credit. They were very physical with us, defended us very well. The other side of that is, I think we probably took too many threes, didn't shoot the 3 ball very well. So before you know it, when you score 8 points in 2 quarters, you find yourself down around 20 points and kind of have yourself out of the basketball game going in the fourth. So learning experience, obviously disappointing for us on that night. Like anything, though, is got to find a way and try to bounce back tonight against EPJ.
Taking a look at the Elk Point-Jefferson Huskies under new head coach, 4-7 overall. This is a group that has lost a couple key seniors over the past couple of years that have really helped motivate and bring apart this offense, and also talk about competitors on the football field as well that has just transitioned over into the wrestling mat or on the basketball court, but this season has not quite been the same. And there are a couple key games that you can look back at the Huskies and you can compare scores at least. You maybe even can compare some film. You look back to that Madison game that you recently played, Elk Point-Jefferson playing Madison earlier this season. But ultimately, what I'm trying to ask, Jay, is what do we know about the Huskies and how do you prepare for them in this type of matchup?
Well, first thing, obviously, is it's a region rival, a rival right down the road, and we've had some battles with them over the years. Last year, they were our first-round region opponent, and they had us on the run, and we were basically down 7 midway through the fourth and found a way to come back, send it into overtime, and got a win. And it was a huge win because obviously extended our season. But, even though we got to a state tournament last year, we were very close to being done in the first round against EPJ. New coach this year, Coach Haveman, and I think the big thing for them is anytime, I don't care who it is or what program, anytime you have a new coach, it takes some time just adjusting, both as the athletes and then also as the coaches and coaching staff get used to one another. And I think just over the last couple of weeks, you're starting to see some of their improvement and the progress they're making. And I think a lot of that is just them as a staff and athletes feeling more comfortable with one another and knowing what he wants from a philosophy standpoint, and he's doing a good job. And this group of kids, you still have kids. These EPJs had a lot of success in recent years. Made the state basketball tournament 2 years ago. Had played in a couple football title games in the Dome. Won one a couple years ago. I believe last year they were the state Legion baseball champs. And these are all kids that have been parts of that or have seen that and want to keep that tradition going. And these are guys that play 2-3 sports. They play together. They compete. So I do know this. They're coming off their best win of the year in their last game. They beat a very good Ponca team, who I believe is like 12-3 in Nebraska, which is a really nice win. And I know they'll have a lot of confidence from that. And they've just showed steady improvement throughout the year. So they're coming off probably their best win, and we're coming into the game, probably coming off our worst performance in our first 9 games of the year. So we know we got to take care of ourselves, bounce back, and we're going to have to play well, and it should be a great environment again with a girl-boy doubleheader.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back inside Elk Point-Jefferson High School here in Elk Point, South Dakota for the second half of our DAC 12 and Region 4A doubleheader between the Huskies of Elk Point-Jefferson and the Tanagers of Vermillion. In the first half of our doubleheader, the Huskies got the win over Vermillion 57-39. We'll have a full post-game show between the halves of this one as we get you set for the boys contest. We heard both from Heath Nimke as well as Joel Haveman and Jay Drake. Got you a full preview of this one. EPJ comes into this one 4-7 on the season, but again, just got a big win against Ponca, Nebraska. A very good Ponca, Nebraska squad. 11-2 they were on the season. Vermillion comes in 7-2 off of a tough loss against the Lennox Orioles. Let's get you starting lineups. First for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Vermillion Tanagers wearing their road red uniforms. A 6-foot senior guard, number 12, Landon Cerny, 7 points, 5 rebounds a ball game for him. 6'3" senior guard, number 24, Carter Hansen, 13 points, 6 boards a ball game for him. 6'5" sophomore forward, number 30, Luke Jensen, 15 points, 3.5 rebounds a ball game for him. coming into this one. Number 32, Gabe Larson, a 6'1 junior guard, 5.5 points, 3 rebounds for him. And Trey Hansen, number 33, the 6'4 junior guard, 14.8 points, 5.7 rebounds. A contest for him. John Roovers, Lewis Budmeyer, and Connor Rohrig come into this one as the assistant coaches. Jay Drake is the head coach. Vermillion comes in number 14 in Class A according to seed points, 43.222, and they are number 4 in Region 4A. They score 64 points a game. They allow 48 points per contest. Starting lineups for the Huskies of Elk Point-Jefferson in their home white uniforms. 6'1 freshman guard, number 3, Aiden Hammett, 6.5 points, 3.5 rebounds a ball game. 5'9 junior guard, number 11, Ben Prouty, 5.8 points, 2 rebounds a ball game for him. 6 foot senior guard, number 20, Grayson Gerard, 5.5 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists a ball game for him. Big number 34, a 6'2 senior forward, Landon Johnson, 8.5 points, 6 rebounds a contest for him. And the 5'9 senior guard, number 55, Chase Swanson, rounds out the starting lineups. He comes in averaging 9 points per ball game, has only played 3 this season. Zach Running and Mac Vandekamp, the assistant coaches. Joel Havman, the head coach. Huskies come in 4-7 on the season, 42nd in Class A according to seed points, 6th in Region 4A. They score 62 points per game. They allow 44. A couple high-scoring offenses here in this one. As you get in your set, the ball is up, and it is won by the Vermillion Tanagers. Carter Hansen taps it a long ways for his brother Trey to come and get it, but he's got the ball, and the Tanagers going left to right on your screen. Quick 3-2 zone being applied and very aggressive by the Huskies. Trey Hansen tries getting in the corner to Larson. He's got it back now. Luke Jensen, best three-point shooter by percentage on the team so far. Trey, he'll take a top-of-the-key 3. That one's off the mark, no good. Jensen with the rebound. He'll take a power dribble. Couple steps inside. He's still got it now. 3 seconds going to be the call on Luke Jensen. So he gets the offensive rebound and then turns the ball over. It is a turnover in possession back to Elk Point-Jefferson.
I'll tell you what, Cole, no better way to start than forcing a turnover for the Elk Point-Jefferson defense. We saw their girls come out, force a lot of turnovers against Vermillion early on. Couldn't ask for a better start.
2-2-1 full court zone pressure being applied by the Tanagers. Huskies are able to get out of it barely. So they just got the ball across half court as the shot clock was going down to 25. Swanson over to Gerard, back to Swanson. He'll pull up 15-foot right side, in and out, no good. And Jensen already with his second rebound of the ball game. Carter Hansen quickly up ahead. He's lost it, then got it back. Thought about pulling up, now pass it over. Landon Cerny, left corner 3, got it to go. Landon Cerny, first points for him in the ball game. He is a 48.4% three-point shooter on the season. So my earlier statement is incorrect. 48.4 for Cerny, 46.4 for Luke Jensen. Stealing the other way, Trey Hansen, he can't get his shot to fall. And the rebound is controlled by Gerard.
Cole, going back to Landon Cerny, he was a guy that was one of the hottest ones from behind the arc early on this season. Lost his touch there for a little bit. Had back-to-back games, high in the double-digit figures, back down to averaging just 7 a game. So good to see him get rolling here early on.
Swanson guarded by Trey Hansen. Pass over to Johnson, 12 on the shot clock. Now with 10, Gerard drives baseline, blocked away by Jensen, but out of bounds. So possession will stay with the Huskies. 6:09 on the game clock, 8 on the shot clock for EPJ.
A physical defense here early on from Vermillion. Good to see. Refs so far looking like they're going to let them play it out, so hoping for a nice physical competitive matchup.
Hammett looks inside. Prouty's got it now with 2. Now with 1. Hammett, no good, and shot clock violation anyway. So 5:59 to go in the first quarter. Turnover once again, possession back to the Tanagers.
Great job by Vermillion here. Got a turnover forced. Right back at him, force another one on the defensive end.
Trey Hansen into the corner. Larson now back to Trey. Cerny now to Jensen. Couple dribbles, he'll get it back. Jensen over to Carter Hansen. 15 on the shot clock. Good movement by the Tanagers. 3-ball Jensen off the mark, no good. Rebound tapped by Carter Hansen, controlled by Prouty. Quickly up ahead, Swanson. Contact, body. They're going to say before the shot. No, they're going to say offensive foul. Going to be called on Chase Swanson. First personal on him, first foul of the ball game for either squad. 5.5 to go.
Cole, we've seen Luke Jensen now miss a couple of times from behind the arc. You talk about him being such a key three-point shooter on this team. Struggled a lot against Lennox. He only went 2 for 9 from behind the arc, but he's going to keep shooting. And if you're a Vermillion fan, hopefully some of those start to fall as that scoring performance against Lennox well below their standard.
Trey Hansen, 13 on the shot clock for the Tanagers. Lost it from behind. He's got it back. He'll dribble once again, now with 8. Carter Hansen in the corner, now with 7. Step through, another step through. Count the bucket and the foul for Carter Hansen. Good nifty move that time by the senior.
Yeah, both the Hansen boys really strong with their step throughs. We see that out of them quite frequently underneath around the blocks, but Carter, lengthy, able to step through, convert the and one.
First free throw of the ball game is good. 3 points for Carter Hansen, tied for the leading scorer. It is 6-0, 4:52 to play in the first quarter. Swanson, right corner 3. He'll try to respond. That one's off the mark, no good. Johnson fought for the rebound. It's tapped and controlled by Luke Jensen, his third. Trey, hop step, drives in, kicks out Carter for 3. Got it to go. 6 points for Carter Hansen. First assist for Trey Hansen. And with 4.5 to go, it is a 9-0 lead in favor of the Vermillion Tanagers.
Well, how about the start here from Vermillion, but Cole, especially in context of that Lennox game. Again, performed very below their standard. Frankly, got blown out. We talked a little bit about maybe a mental struggle coming into this one as the shooting was the poorest part of the performance, but, man, they are lighting it up here from behind the arc. Great to see for the Tanagers.
First foul on Cerny, first team foul again with 4.5 to play in this first quarter. The Tanagers have outscored themselves compared to the Lennox game in the second and third quarters. They scored just a combined 8 points. So far 9 here tonight. Ben Prouty can't let him start getting hot from beyond the arc. He will light this place on fire. As he pulls up from 3, it's 9-3.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep the foot on the gas here. We talked about, Elk Point-Jefferson keeping the foot on the gas with the Vermillion girls in our last matchup, but if Vermillion wants to hold this lead and keep taking it to the Huskies, they're going to have to keep on the offensive end, take care of the ball, and keep playing aggressive defense.
Neither team subbed anybody in or out so far. 3:48 to go, first quarter. Trey Hansen inside, landing Cerny off the glass. Good for 2 for him. Second assist for Trey, yet to score, but 2 big assists for him. It is now 11-3.
Yeah, in my book, assists might as well be points, at least valued the same way, but really impressed with the quality of shots here that Vermillion's taking.
Prouty, he'll step back, 15-footer left side. That one's off the mark and no good. Gabe Larson gets his name in the stat book. He's got his first board of the game. Trey Hansen to Larson for 3. Got it. 3 points now for Gabe Larson, 3 assists for Trey Hansen. And Joel Havman will take a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We're going to step aside and take it with him back to Elk Point-Jefferson High School in 30 seconds.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to Elk Point. It is 14-3 in favor of the Tanagers. Spencer Blanchette will check in out of the timeout for the Tanagers. 4.5 points, 2.5 rebounds a contest off the bench. Prouty laying off the mark.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club
for
Press
by
Box.
Landon Johnson. They're going to say last touched by him. So out of bounds, turnover, possession to the Vermillion Tanagers. 3 minutes to play. Still a good crowd on hand on both sides of this gym. Long concession stands line, but got to give a lot of credit to the concession stand crew. By the time I was in the bathroom, it was about 40 feet long. By the time I was out of the bathroom, it was about 4 feet long. So got to give them a lot of props.
And it looks good too, Cole. I definitely thought about grabbing something between games. It looks good.
Don't worry, I did as well. Pass over to Chase Swanson. Stolen partially by Trey Hansen, who was out of bounds. Went into about the second row of bleachers. 2:32 to play in the first quarter. Still an 11-point lead for Vermillion, 14-3. Again, night and day offensive performances from when we last saw them back on Thursday.
Yeah, and that's what good teams do, Cole, is they're able to take a loss like that, let it sink in, let it hurt, but then flip the switch. It's a new game, wipe the clock clean, come back and hit it hard on the offensive end, find success early.
18 on the shot clock for the Huskies. Swanson's got it, guarded by Trey Hansen, now double team. Skip pass, Gerard, he'll drive, now tries looking outside to Johnson. He'll pull up with 7. That one's off the mark and no good. Landon Cerny with his first rebound of the ball game. Long pass up ahead, Blanchette, back to Trey Hansen, long left wing 3, off the mark, no good. And the rebound is controlled by big Landon Johnson, first rebound for him. Tanager fans wanted to travel, they're going to say he had his back foot down, as our trail official called. Under 2 to play in the first. Still 14-3. Prouty, he'll pull up. That one's off the mark and no good. Carter Hansen with the defensive rebound. 100 seconds to play in the first. He'll drive, dump it down to Blanchette. Back to Carter. Carter inside one dribble. Off the glass, no. Rebound tipped around. Controlled by Cerny. Trey drives in, kicks out Carter. Fresh shot clock, 90 seconds to play. Carter on a control pass. Now they'll get it over Blanchette. Left wing 3. Off back iron and no good for him. Rebound controlled by Landon Johnson. And now a rebounding foul going to be called as Trey Hansen tried stripping it away.
I think Hansen caught him a little bit with the body there. It wasn't necessarily, arm on arm, but I think he roughed him a little bit from the back.
Checking in the ball game, first time this game, is number 22, Brody Van Rokel. 5'8" sophomore guard. And now we've got a stoppage, and Trey Hansen's got some blood. So we'll give him 20 seconds. They can get it cleaned off before the 20-second timer expires. He can come back in the ball game. If not, he will have to check out. Give each coach a chance to kind of get things squared away. And as it was done within 20 seconds,
good to go.
He's able to stay back in, so we'll get everybody out of their huddles. And with 1:20 to play in the first, we resume action with EPJ throwing it in from underneath the Vermillion hoop. And still a 2-2-1. Full court pressure being applied by Vermillion. 27, now 26. Do the Huskies get it across? Swanson lobbed to Hammett. Kicks over Brody Van Rokel. He'll drive, step through, and a stolen away. Cerny comes up with it. Up to Trey Hansen. Lay in, contact. Count the bucket and the foul for Trey Hansen. First 2 points of the ball game for him. He's been all over the stat sheet so far.
Yeah, it's good to see Hansen rolling as well here in this one. Only had 6 points against Lennox, but guy that averages well over 14. It's good to see him right back on track. And still dealing with some blood there on the shin or ankle. You have to wrap it up.
Because it happened twice in a row, they're going to have to say that he has to come out. So they'll get that thing wrapped up a little bit. John Ruvers wrapped it up, and Trey Hansen right back to the scorer's table, ready to check back in. Larson shot the free throws for him.
So he can't sub in. They'll say it'll take an official stoppage of play to...
Yeah, it can't come right back in because technically we have not been in play yet. So similar to football where you got to sit out for one play, the ball's got to be back in play before he can come back in. So still, and John Rivers still working on it a little bit, getting a little extra layer of tape. They wanted to get him back in there as quickly as possible, but likely might have to wait till the first quarter break. But Gabe Larson came in and made the free throw. Now 4 points for Gabe Larson in the ball game. Van Rokel stepped through his shot up and no good. Rebound tapped around. Controlled by Gerard. 2 on the shot clock, and a pull-up shot is good for Chase Swanson. First 2 points of the ball game for him. 17-5, and now the shot clock is off for the Tanagers.
It's a great pull-up jumper there by Swanson, but got to credit Vermillion. Really physical, aggressive defense.
Long three for Carter Hansen. In and out, no good. Hammett with the rebound with 2. With 1, Swanson from 30. Just short, no good. And that is how the first quarter will end. It is 17-5 in favor of the Vermillion Tanagers. We're going to step aside back to EPJ High School in a minute.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car, deer, and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Timeouts are more than just a break. They're an opportunity. At Blue Tin Design and Marketing, we help small town businesses shine, just like your team on game day. From creative branding to digital marketing, we're here to support your community. Let's build something great together. Visit bluetindesign.com.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back. Point-Jefferson Pet Band serenading us with great balls of fire between that quarter break, and that is what the Vermillion Tanagers offensively were there for a stretch. They got it up to a 14-point lead at one point, 17-3, and now 17-5 is where we start. Second quarter action. Swanson, he pulls up, and the shot is no good. Rebound will get tapped out of bounds in front of the Tanager bench. So Vermillion going back left to right. Trey Hansen back out there. He's got some wrapping around his leg to stop that bleeding. Came out twice, was fouled for an and one, and that man right there made his free throw, Gabe Larson. Now 7 points credited to his name. 15-point lead for the Tanagers, 25. Johnson inside. Contact, no. Shot up and off the mark. Larson with the rebound, his second. He'll slow things up. Carter Hansen, top of the key. Over to Larson, now Cerny in the corner. He'll drive baseline, kicks back out. Carter now in the corner. Jensen, he'll take the three. Off the mark, no. Trey Hansen hits the floor on the rebound, but Larson got the O board and puts it back up. 9 points for Gabe Larson. It is 22-5.
Well, I'm starting to fear a little bit for Oak Point Jefferson. They could be in for one of the nights where Vermillion doesn't miss, and that's kind of what it's looking like right now. But I will say they've done well responding with their own threes.
Aiden Hammett, first 3 points the ball game for him, 22-8. Carter Hansen lost it. Chase Swanson with the steal. Now it's stolen right back. Cerny looks inside Hansen. Trey Hansen, step in, lay in is good. Trey Hansen, Carter Hansen with the official assist, and Landon Cerny with the hockey assist. We can call it that. You don't know that term?
Sure don't.
You don't know that term? Have you're a Stars guy, aren't you? Haven't you ever watched hockey?
I have. But I didn't get into it until too long ago.
They give out up to 3 assists on a goal.
Okay,
that's what I meant by. Okay, no,
sorry,
it's not a basketball term.
Yes.
I was using the hockey term for multiple assists.
Okay,
that's on
I
me.
do
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
I do know you can do that in hockey. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention to the play.
Hansen pass in, he hits the deck. But the shot up by Jensen after he gets his own offensive rebound is good. First 2 points for him. All 5 starters for the Tanagers have scored. It is 26-8. And now a 10-second violation going to be called on the Huskies. Could not quite get it across in time. So another turnover and possession. Back to the Tanagers. Nick Schmitz checks into the ball game for the Huskies. About 2.5 points a game off the bench. So Spencer, going back to our previous point, I apologize for confusing you. I'm sorry my sports lingo knowledge is so vast.
It is so vast, Cole. Every other game I'm sitting up here with you, I learn a new terminology reference, a new street lingo reference. I'm learning so much.
Street lingo?
I don't know, just the old casual talk of the sports that we're calling.
All right. I guess. So I'll just take your word for it. I usually try not to pay attention to what I talk about because I talk so much. That's usually what I do during games.
Well, it is your job.
Well, yeah. I guess you could say that. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Huskies. 4:52 to play in the quarter. Schmitz for 3 left wing. That one's off the mark and no. Chase for the rebound, and Trey Hansen will come up with it. First board for him, but he's been all over the stat sheet in many other categories. Now he'll pull up. Lane line extended 3. Got it to go. 7 points now for Trey Hansen with a board and 3 assists in the ball game for him. And the Tanagers have extended it to a 21-point lead. And Swanson fires one off the scorer's table. Joel Havman will take a timeout. It'll be full timeout. We're going to step aside and take it with him back to Elk Point-Jefferson High School in 60 seconds.
Never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back to Elk Point, 29-8. Spencer Buley and I just hashing back and forth our love for longtime MLB umpire Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, that's the word.
4 points now for Luke Jensen off the spin. He got it off the glass. 31-8. Big offensive performance so far in this first half by the Tanagers. Again, when you think back to the Lennox Orioles game, they need 2 more points, and they tied themselves.
Yeah, and they're playing really well all around right now, especially defensively. That's where I think a lot of credit is due right now to Vermillion, because, of course, throughout the season we've talked a lot about how they're able to take defense and turn it into offense, and they're just making Elk Point-Jefferson very uncomfortable handling the basketball right now.
About 7 offensive rebounds so far in this last stretch that I quit tracking them. And
it ends in a turnover.
Cerny tried looking out to pass it to Carter Hansen and bonked his hand on his knee, and it went shot out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, Vermillion right now, they're the more physical team. They're the more aggressive team. They're the bigger team, and so rightfully so. But Elk Point-Jefferson, they got to find an answer on the offensive end. They've got to start connecting with a couple 3 balls here.
And it starts with getting across half court in time. They do with 28 on the shot clock. Prouty will take a 3. He's going to miss everything, and the rebound falls into Luke Jensen's lap, unofficially his 5th. Cerny kicks over. Larson for 3. That's going to miss short. Jensen with the O board. He spins, kicks back out to Trey. Cerny, left wing 3. Got it. 8 points for Landon Cerny. 4 assists for Carter Hansen. Not something you see his name up in a lot of stats. He's really moving that ball around here in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Vermillion overall is moving the ball around really well. I mean, I already made a Spurs reference, but they're looking back like the old 2014 Spurs-type ball movement.
There's never been a good Spurs team ever.
Okay.
that got you silent really quick.
Look, man, let me ride on my glory while I still can, while it's still recently somewhat relevant.
I was gonna say my glory years for my teams are let's see, the 1990s and 1970s Cornhuskers. about what I got.
Understandable. Yeah. See, you can reference
That's
that, but at least
all I
mine's
got.
semi-relevant.
Semi-relevant and within.
I was alive for that.
Within the
was,
last 40 years.
I don't get to do it for the Cowboys, but I was alive for the Spurs run. I got to see all the HEB commercials that they made. It was awesome.
Yeah, I did not. I'm well past the Cornhusker glory days. And the one bowl game they've made in 10 years, I couldn't watch.
Duty calls, man. Work calls.
Yep. 4 for 4 are the Tanagers from the free throw line. Luke Jensen, 6 points for him in the ball game. The Tanagers have scored 21. Nope, that's the wrong math. 19 here in this second quarter compared to the EPJ 3. Prouty over to Johnson. Aiden Hammett looks. Gerard's got it now. Wyatt Harity checked in. Recently, now back to Prouty, guarded by Blanchette. Top of the key, he'll drive right, kicks out Harity. He'll pull up right wing three, going to be too strong, missed by quite a ways. Carter Hansen with the rebound, lob up to Trey. Trey back to Carter, strong lay in, can't quite get that one to go. Looks over, he wants a foul. Trey still fighting for the rebound, it's out of bounds off of, they're going to say last touched by Trey Hansen. He kind of looks and...
Maybe we need a 6-second replay, Cole. We missed it again.
Well, you could activate it sooner. Remember, we're not on a delay here. We're live speed. With that huddle camera, we got that 1.6 second delay, so it kind of throws off timing and everything.
Fair enough.
Or maybe I just set it up to work properly the first time. Maybe that would help as well. Gerard, wide open three, got it. Grayson Gerard, not sure how he got left that open. I mean, there was nobody within 10 feet of him, and he nails it from the right wing. Preister, Carter Hansen left corner three, back iron no. Rebound, chased down, Spencer Blanchette came up with it. I'm not even going to try to count the offensive rebounds by Vermillion here in this first half so far. I'll leave that to a halftime count.
Well, they're shooting so many threes, Cole. Every rebound off of a three-point attempt goes long, and they're just spread out around the perimeter waiting for it to take a huge bounce off the back of the rim.
Gerard controlled that rebound. EPJ's got to get it across, and they barely do. As the clock was ticking 25. Wyatt Harity, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds before he got the ball. Turnover, possession to Vermillion, and Swanson checks back in.
And not a lot has gone right here for Oak Point Jefferson. It's not even just shooting, it's not even defense, it's the mental errors as well, and some of them are just tough. It's sometimes it's focus, sometimes it's just an instance like that where you just don't even realize that you're so caught up in the game and all of a sudden you're stepping out of bounds. But this is a very, very different team than we saw taking on Ponca.
Again, that is a Ponca, Nebraska team, 11-2 coming into that ball game. Dropped to 11-3. They got the win 55-50. So far for the Huskies, 11 points in the first half.
Now, I'm going to assume any Ponca fans that are at all watching the score of this game are pretty frustrated on what team they got.
Blanchette drives in with 2 on the shot clock. Shot up and no. Offensive rebound tipped around. That one's off the mark. Schmitz has got it. He'll fire from half court, and that's off the mark. And that is how the first half will end 36-11. Your first half score. We're going to step aside when we come back. Stats and analysis from the first half, as well as a full recap of what has happened so far here today. That is on the way next on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
CoreCares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. CoreCares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
There's no better way to bring in the new year than with a new Deere. And Grossenburg Implement has a huge selection of new John Deere equipment as well as specials on used equipment from John Deere and other brands. Get dependable agricultural, residential, and commercial equipment at Grossenburg Implement with 9 locations in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming. Stop by to visit with a sales professional today or go to grossenburg.com to browse the new and used inventory. Grossenburg Implement, where service is the other half of a great product.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Elk Point-Jefferson High School here in Elk Point, South Dakota. What you're witnessing right now on the court is the aftermath of the Chuck-a-Duck. Raising money for the Special Olympics and their polar plunge. So good attendance out there. I told Spencer Buley that we should have bought in and started lobbing these things from up here. Should have inside our broadcast area. Your halftime score on the boys' side of things is 36-11 in favor of the Vermillion Tanagers. As we got a interview on the way. Here at halftime is the Vermillion girls coach and John Brooks. Coach Brooks, it's been a while since you've joined us up here.
Yeah.
How's it been?
Yeah, I figured I don't know if I could have convinced any of our girls to come talk to you after that game today, so I figured I would take the bullet here.
Well, Coach, it's been a rough couple of stretches, but we knew that coming in. You saw the schedule. You kind of looked ahead. You saw each of these teams obviously playing a really good Makpialuta team in the Corn Palace, losing to them, and playing a very talented, maybe an under-the-radar team here in Elk Point-Jefferson. What's it kind of been like? You obviously had that maybe a little easier stretch early in the year, but now you're almost in the thick of it in the season.
Yeah, you know, we kind of went through that when we saw that on the schedule. We knew that this was going to be a brutal stretch for us. You know, playing 4 games in 7 days and against really, really good opponents. I mean, we're in the middle of a stretch where we go Lennox, Makpialuta, Elk Point, and now Lyman. So there's just no days off. And but at the end of the day, you take a couple losses like this, and you hope you can learn from them. You hope you can get the confidence back in the girls. And this is what it's going to be like in region time. So we got to play these games, and we got to learn from it and move on.
We look back to Saturday. Offense struggled a little bit, couldn't really get going, especially that second quarter. You look ahead to today, it seemed like almost the same thing. Had some spurts there where it seemed like the offense was rolling, but then you couldn't get a defensive stop to kind of claw back. What has it been offensively that really has kind of struck out to you the most?
You know, I think within our motion, obviously everybody's scouting, and teams are really doing their job to try to take away Taylor, Casey, and Brooke, and they're getting a lot of attention right now, deservedly so. And so we got to find a way. It's what we've been talking about as coaches, and we knew we had some practice time after this game. We got to find a way somehow to get all of our kids in better spots where they can score it, and we got to be able to have more offensive of output, and we can't put so much pressure on our defense. So that's something we kind of said after this game. We're back to the drawing board. We got to figure some things out offensively, and we will, and I know our girls will be ready.
And coming in today, we knew that Elk Point-Jefferson, similar to you guys, pretty balanced at the top. A lot of almost double-figure scoring all the way across the board. And then today, Bentley Kohlbaum comes in, 21 points she finishes with inside. It just seems like every time she got an offensive rebound, she couldn't miss underneath.
Well, she's one of those kids that's come a long ways, and I think maybe when they were younger, the Brewer girl inside and Van Rokel, those were kind of their kids that are really skilled, and Kohlbaum's really come along, and the one thing that you can't replace is just her effort. She just plays so hard, and she just gets after it every single time she's on the floor. She's going for rebounds, she's posting up hard, she's defending, she's physical, and she just brings all of that to their team. And she really hurt us tonight.
As we look forward, obviously a couple tough losses, like you said. Hope to learn from them. You got a little bit of a break. You don't play till Saturday, then another break, and then you play Del Rapids that following Thursday. How important are these, not really rest days because you'll still be practicing, but non-game days? How important will they be for your squad?
Yeah, this next 2 weeks is huge. I mean, we're taking the day off tomorrow just to get out of the gym, and then we'll come back with Thursday, Friday, and we got to go compete and on Saturday and find a way. And then we get another, like you said, 3-day stretch of practice where we got to keep figuring some things out. And then once that hits, once we play Dells on Thursday, the games start piling up on top of each other again. So our practice time here the next 2 weeks is going to be extremely important for us.
Well, Coach, obviously last couple losses have been tough, but still 9-3 on the season, 8 games to go left in the regular season. Obviously, we wish you good luck from up here and keep the head to the grindstone. It's not going to get any easier, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll keep working. We got a competitive group. They're frustrated, but like you said, only about halfway through the year, a lot of basketball left.
Thanks, Coach, and thanks for joining us here on the Halftime Show. And again, head coach John Brooks of the Vermillion Tanager girls. Like he said, tough loss for him and his squad the last couple of games, but lots of things to learn from, and that's something that you can take away almost positively here for this Tanager squad as I turn it back over to Spencer Buley. Spencer, Coach made a lot of good points there. Think about it. It's been a couple tough games. It's been a little bit of a tough stretch offensively. Defensively, they struggled guarding Kohlbaum, but you got to just keep going. Unfortunately for them, that's how good this region and NAC-12 schedule is.
Right, and I think that, he keeps it real. John Brooks keeps it real. And what was catching my attention was when he talks about, just you got to find a way. At some point, I think even he's probably tired of thinking about, this is such a tough stretch. We got to play such good teams. Vermillion's a good team too, and there's no reason they should be getting, blown out in games like this. So I think to him, it's frustrating to have his squad, to know how good of a squad that he has, and to also know how competitive he and his team are. And then to go out and drop these games, he wants to win. At some point, these are tough games, but this is a group that should win, and he knows that, and he wants it so bad. Nobody wants it more than that group. So I think that he's keeping it real. They've got to find a way. It can't just be the way that they've always gone about their business earlier in the season, where it was the big three only. They've got to start finding other ways to score, and they're going to be put out of their comfort zone, but they have to respond.
Again, in the first game, Elk Point-Jefferson got the win, 57-39. EPJ moves to 9-1 on their season. Tanagers fall to 9-3. Still, you talk about that fall to 9-3, still a very good record and a very good Tanager squad we got. Back here on the boys' side of things, it is 36-11 at halftime. Quickly, your halftime stats. 3 points for Aiden Hammett, Ben Prouty, and Grayson Gerard. 2 for Chase Swanson. That rounds out the EPJ 11. 8 for Cerny, 6 for Carter Hansen, 6 for Luke Jensen, 9 for Gabe Larson, 7 for Trey Hansen. That rounds out the Tanager scoring. Big stat line in that first half, Tanagers with 11 offensive rebounds so far here tonight.
Yeah, they crashed the boards well, and that's what's going to, propel them here in the second half as well, get them to running clock. But, Cole, I wanted to
Whoa, that's on me. My bad. Wrong dial.
It's
Wrong
okay.
dial.
I just wanted to point out, something that caught my eye at halftime. Watching the Tanagers put up shots, Cole, I think I counted maybe 12 threes in a row. Just knockdown. So this is they're on fire here tonight. I would expect the three-point shooting to continue at the level that it was in that first half.
And 36-14 now your score as, that was Ben Prouty got the shot up to go. He's got 6 points for him. Shot up and no good. Rebound is controlled by Landon Johnson. So EPJ with a couple good defensive stops, and now see what they can get going offensively. But Hammett was out of bounds, did not establish himself back inbounds, so a turnover. And possession back to Vermillion, 6:37 to go in the third quarter. Again, this is a Vermillion squad. Tough loss to the Lennox Orioles back on Thursday. They're recovering from that. It is night and day shooting compared to what we saw in that one. For the EPJ Huskies, they won 55-50 over an 11-3 Ponca, Nebraska squad. And for them, this is night and day compared to when we last saw them.
Yeah, absolutely. I will point out on the Vermillion end, one thing that's a little bit surprising is I don't believe Luke Jensen has hit a three tonight. Has he? Do you have him down for a three?
He's got 6 points, 2 twos, and 2 free throws.
Yeah, I don't think that he's hit a three. And again, he only made 2 in that game against Lennox on 9 total attempts. So this is great overall for Vermillion, but just a little bit of a surprise to see a guy that's as sure-handed as him from behind the arc struggling, but right on cue, gets inside for 2 points, potential three-point play.
He says, all right, Spencer Buley, I hear you. I'll make this layup and get fouled instead.
He said, all right, talk about the arc, I'll do it this way.
He'll go to the free throw line. It's the second foul on Landon Johnson. Shot up, no good. 38-14, the score will remain. First missed free throw of the ball game for the Tanagers. They're now 4 of 5. Tanagers drop back in. They're 2-2-1. They got it up ahead, lay in. No by Grayson Gerard, but contact and a foul. Cerny kind of jumped up and took the contact. I think if he just stands there and takes it and falls over, we're looking at an offensive foul in the other way.
I'd agree with you there.
First free throw going to be short. Grayson Gerard. 0 for 1 now are the Huskies from the free throw line. Second one up and in and out, also no good. Rebound fought for. Loose, Carter Hansen comes up with it, and Hansen is fouled. 4 rebounds now for Carter Hansen. Third personal foul on Landon Johnson, and he will check out. And Nick Schmitz will check back in.
I'll tell you what, the pace of this game has really slowed down here in the third quarter. Lots of fouls, obviously no full court press from Vermillion at the moment, but just definitely the energy is all-time low here.
Hansen into a cutting Jensen, back out to Trey. Trey looks now, right corner Carter. One dribble, pull up, too strong. Prouty with the rebound. Prouty's got it. He'll try firing across to Hammett. Stolen away. Carter Hansen, first steal for him. Up ahead, lay-in no good by Larson, but Larson is fouled. First personal on Grayson Gerard, third team foul. So, yes, like you said, things have slowed greatly.
I think the Tanagers are probably, depending on Gabe Larson's free throws here, but hoping to grab a couple more points, maybe hit that running clock, save the legs a little bit.
They got a tough task up ahead of them.
Yes, they do.
Number 1 Sioux Falls Christian comes to town on Thursday.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game. So they're it's obviously one game at a time always, but going into this week, it's Sioux Falls Christian week is what it is.
3 minutes down here in the third quarter. 0 for 2 from the free throw line were the Tanagers. Now we're going to get a foul going to be called on Cerny. That's going to be his third personal, second team foul of the quarter. And now we're going to get a sub. Blanchette will come in. Cerny will come off. So hit a couple big shots. 6 rebounds for him, 5 of them on the offensive side of the glass. But 3 fouls. We will sit for a little bit. Prouty lost it inside, stolen away. Trey Hansen comes up with it. Larson, he lost it. That shot up and no good. Swanson's got it. He can't get that one to fall. Another offensive rebound by the Huskies. Gerard comes up back with it. 4 rebounds for him. Now in the ball game, he's stuck at the wing. Swanson's got it. 17 on the shot clock. 4:23 on the game. Blocked away. 3-ball by Ben Prouty. Trey Hansen came up with a piece of that one. Carter's got it. Looking around now inside Jensen. He'll take a dribble. Couple spin moves. Step through, lay in, no. Larson with the offensive rebound. His putback is good. First Tanager in double figures is number 32, Gabe Larson.
That's always anybody who can step up for this squad, Cole. It's impressive to see Gabe Larson doing it tonight, a guy who only averages 5.5 points coming into this ball game, but connected with a couple of threes early on and has continued more so inside the arc here in the second half.
Trey tried getting a move, and he lost it and fell. Prouty with the steal. Passed it over to Grayson Gerard. Lay-in is good. 5 points for him now in the ball game. It is 40-16. So the clock is still rolling, but like you said, Spencer, still a pretty slow third quarter.
Yeah, and the Pagans offense as far as scoring as well. And I know that we've talked with Lewis Budmeyer about that third quarter, always saying there's some struggles there. So obviously it's tough to come out and be really aggressive and want to shoot the lights out when you're leading by so much, but the principle still holds.
Trey Hansen inside. Gabe Larson off the glass and good for 2. 13 points now for Gabe Larson. 5 assists for Trey Hansen. Timeout called by, I believe, Jay Drake. We'll take it with him back to Elk Point-Jefferson High School in 30 seconds.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no-obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Three minutes to go in the third quarter. It is 42-16 in favor of the Vermillion Tanagers. Jay Drake takes his first time out.
Welcome back to the Vermillion.
4 remaining. I'll be shocked if he uses all of them now. An offensive foul going to be called on Nick Schmitz, second personal, and the 4th team foul for him in the ball game. Carson Preister will check in. Gabe Larson will check off. Trey Hansen brings it across the Husky logo. He'll get it back. Long 3, top of the key, going to be short, no good. Rebound is loose. Nick Schmitz has got it. Now a rebounding foul on Luke Jensen, his first personal and the 3rd team foul. As a hush has come over the crowd here in Elk Point, 42-16. Shot inside, no good for Nick Schmitz. Carter Hansen with his 5th rebound of the ball game. He'll drive in. It's stolen away by Swanson. Lob up Gerard. Lay in, no good. Offensive rebound, put back. That one's off the mark, no good for Van Rokel. Preister with the rebound, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2 as we are now in the bonus for the remainder of the third.
Yeah, the bonus. Or are we? Yes, we are.
As referee Chad Gordon just confirmed. Looked up at the scoreboard. Everybody was standing around. Blue whistle says, we're shooting 2. Let's go.
Should be the end for Elk Point-Jefferson getting into the bonus here, because obviously any foul is going to add 2 more points on, and as soon as this game hits running clock, it's pretty much the hole dug deep enough.
5 for 8 from the free throw line now are the Tanagers. Preister's first free throw is good, 77.8% on the season. Second one off the mark, and the rebound is controlled by Brody Van Rokel. Swanson's got it. Gerard dribbling right side. He'll hand it off. Van Rokel. Van Rokel drives baseline. Spins. Schmitz blocked away. Trey Hansen's got it. He crosses the timeline. Up ahead, Preister. Preister can't get the shot to fall in. Aiden Hammett with the rebound. Quickly up ahead to Swanson. Swanson guarded by Blanchette. Good behind the back move. Up and under lay-in. That one's off the mark and no. 6th rebound for Carter Hansen. Up ahead, Jensen. Jensen through the double team. Got it to go. Luke Jensen, now he's in double figures. He's got 10 points, 45-16.
Yeah, the Huskies just unable to buy a bucket tonight. I mean, really haven't gotten bad looks on offense, but nothing falling around the blocks for them.
Hammett pulls up from the left side. He's got 5 points. Now with 60 seconds to go in the third is 45-18. Trey Hansen, Spencer Blanchette. Carter Hansen looking inside. Preister off the glass. He can't get that one to fall. Gerard with his 5th rebound of the ball game. 45 seconds to go here in the third. Gerard drives left, passes back out. Van Rokel drives in. Shot up and no. Carter Hansen with his 7th rebound now of the ball game. 6 points all in that first quarter. And he gets the lob pass back out to him. About a second-ish. Separate the shot clock and the game clock. So Tanagers will have to get a shot up. But it can be very close to that last game clock buzzer. Underhand pass to Trey Hansen. He will likely do a lot of the work himself. Again, he's already got 5 assists here in this ball game. He's got 6 in the shot clock, now 5. Now with 4. Trey drives right through contact, laying off the glass, good for 2. 9 for Trey Hansen. The buzzer sounds. 47-18 will be your score after 24 minutes of play. We've got 8 more on the way. That is on the way next. Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV. I'm Cole Larsch, alongside me, Spencer Buley. Last quarter of the last half of our DAC 12 and Region 4A clash here in Elk Point Jefferson High School. Tanagers with a 29-point lead. Cerny right wing 3, got it. Landon Cerny comes back in, catches the pass from Carter Hansen, his 4th assist. Now just like that, we are up to a 32-point lead, 50-18. And running clock rules will apply. We'll only stop for timeouts, free throws, or any other official stoppages. And now the starting 5 will check out, and we'll get 5 new ones in for the Tanagers. Cade Roovers, Spencer Blanchette, Trenton Thomas, Sean Doan, and Carson Preister. All check into the ball game for the Vermillion Tanagers. Maybe trying to save the legs a little bit as they host number 1 Sioux Falls Christian inside the birdcage. We'll have full coverage of that one tomorrow, starting at 7 o'clock. Pregame starts about 6:15, and a shot clock violation on the Huskies. I didn't even realize it was counting down.
I can't say I did either, Cole. But I guess after all, that ball was tipped out of bounds. There wasn't a shot clock to reset.
That's true. 6:50 to go in the ball game. Blanchette over to Thomas. Blanchette again. These Guys fighting for a spot on the short rotation that Jay Drake typically takes as we're getting about halfway through the season. This would be the 10th game. Jay Drake likely all the way done with his rotation and finalizing that, but you never know. Turnover. Possession to Carson Preister, and I just got the best text that somebody could receive here, Spencer Buley.
Interesting.
It said, don't get food. Morgan, Charlie's girlfriend, is cooking us food once we get back.
Well, that is the best text you could receive.
I told you. Did you not believe me? Which, for the record, I'd go for about anything right now. There's this chili and cinnamon rolls out in the concession stand. Smelled great, let me tell you.
Those look phenomenal. I have a feeling Elk Point-Jefferson knows how to do this thing right.
I mean, chili and cinnamon roll.
With a line that big at the concession stand and that many tables out there being filled up, someone knows something in that kitchen.
Are you still appalled as Spencer Blanchette gets his first 2 points of the ball game off the right side? Are you still appalled by the combination chili and cinnamon rolls?
I never had it till I got here. So enlighten me, Cole. Do you dip the cinnamon roll in the chili, or what's your?
Kind of depends. If you get a good dip in chili, then sure.
See that to me, I'm not so much behind.
Okay, well that's fine. I mean,
I'm a big fan of cinnamon rolls the way they are, so
okay,
I like to.
That's cool.
I like to keep it pure.
Nothing wrong with that.
So to me, it's kind of just like an on-course or a main course and then dessert.
Oh no, you got to have them at the same time.
All
you
right.
don't have to dip them, but just take some chili, and then take a bite of a cinnamon roll. And then tell me how it is. Got a little savory, then some sweet action. It was one of my favorite days at school lunch. That was always the best. Chili and cinnamon roll day. Laying off the mark, Grayson Gerard, and the rebound is controlled by Carson Preister. What other weird food combinations can I give you? As Cade Roovers dribbles it up, and he's fouled by Gerard, second personal. What other Midwest food combos?
I don't know.
Oh, are walking tacos a thing down south?
Oh,
down
no,
there?
nope. Did not have my
really?
first walking taco thing until here. It was actually at an SDSU tailgate. Well, tailgate for the SDSU game. I was nowhere near.
Okay, good.
Let me
good.
correct that. Gracious.
You better. Yeah, those very convenient. Those are also usually a concession stand staple. Carson Preister nails the right wing three. He's got 4 points in the ball game. 55-21.
They are arguably one of my favorite versions of a taco to eat. Just so easy and so good.
Yep. But you got to get the proportions right or else it gets really messy.
That's true.
And you got to get a good fork. That is also keys. Stolen away by Preister. First steal for him. There's actually a town in South Dakota, small town, Class B school. His ball is fired into the EPJ section. Just about took down that fan there. He's already got a cast on one arm. He's talking to the people beside him. I already got one on this one. I don't need one on this one. But there is they have a baked potato bar at their high school games. I believe it's if I remember correctly, it's Gregory.
It's pretty awesome.
Down in Gregory, they got a baked potato bar, and that's their big staple at their concession stand. And let me tell you, for $5, it's some of the best value you're ever going to see at a concession stand. 55-21 under 3 minutes to play. Tanagers will move to 8-2 halfway through the season. EPJ will fall to 4-8. Again, they've had quite a few close wins. This one here not being one of them, but ran into a Vermillion Tanager squad trying to get back on their offensive pace. They averaged 64 points a game, and at one point that number said 75. That's how fast-paced and high-scoring this offense typically is. Up and under lane by Thomas. He can't quite get that one to fall. Preister gets back the offensive rebound. Can't quite get that one to fall either, but Blanchette with the rebound. Ball's tipped around, stolen away. Van Rokel lays it in for good. Or good for two, excuse me. 2 points for him. 55-23, 2 minutes to play. Sean Doan for three. Gonna hit it too strong. Adrenaline maybe pumping a little bit too much, but he gets back the steal. Lay-in is good for Sean Doan, the senior. Bench really loving that one. You can hear him down there.
Yeah, it's always a good time to see these guys get in and get some live action reps. Again, as we always discuss, Cole, it's the future of varsity. So these are crucial reps. It's what sustains a team is guys that are coming in, next year to start that have already gotten a lot of game reps. It's what keeps a program really good.
Or what we see typically in Region 4A games where it gets really close and foul trouble. All of a sudden you could go from playing about 2 games a season, all of a sudden Jay Drake points to you and says, all right, you're in.
Right, absolutely. And you mentioned earlier kind of fighting for a spot on that rotation. All it takes is for that guy in front of you to have a couple of off games, and all of a sudden, they're going to just try something new. It's not uncommon that you see that. So these are big reps for these guys.
.57-23 inside, lay-in is good. Nick Schmidt's first 2 points the ball game for him, 57-25. 45 seconds to go.
May have been an and one there.
Yeah.
May have gotten away with one.
Blanchette, he's going to be dragged down and fouled, and they're going to help everybody up.
Yeah, took an elbow right to the face there at the end. Kind of got fallen on top of.
As Jay Drake I was wondering for a second if we only had 2 officials. And Jay Drake was deep in the corner talking to that one. He still is. Maybe getting a clarification on something, maybe just chatting it up with an old friend. You never know. Never quite know with Jay Drake.
I can't imagine what he'd be fighting for clarification about, but not particularly sure. It doesn't necessarily look like an old friend type conversation, so who knows, Cole?
Well, I can tell you one thing, I do not. 59-25, 20 seconds to go. 3 ball on the way, that one's off the mark, no good for Schmitz. Van Rokel with the rebound. Going to chuck it off of Cade Roovers' leg. Depending on how fast they can get the ball in, they're not even going to try. That is how the ball game will end. 59-25 is your final score here in the second half of our doubleheader. Tanagers will move to 8-2 in the season. EPJ will fall to 4-8 on their season. We're going to step aside. When we come back, it is stats and analysis from the entire game, a recap of the games that I've played, a preview of the games to come, as well as some interviews with a player in Louis Budmeyer. That is all on the way next here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nurtrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark. All in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, Our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Welcome back, Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV post-game show. Here is our second half of our doubleheader. Has officially wrapped things up. The Vermillion Tanagers got the convincing win over the Point-Jefferson Huskies, 59-25. Let's run you through some final stats. First for the Huskies. Leading scorer was Ben Prouty. He finished with 6 points, 5 points apiece for Grayson Gerard. Chase Swanson and Aiden Hammett all scored as well. And then Nick Schmitz with 2, Brody Van Rokel with 2. To round out their scoring, they shot 1 of 3 from the free throw line. They scored 5 in the first, 6 in the second, 7 in the third, and 7 in the fourth for their total of 25 points. And they will fall to 4-8 on their season. For the Vermillion Tanagers, leading scorer was Gabe Larson, lowest average scorer among the starters here in their season so far, but was able to lead all things. 13 points, 3 rebounds for him. 11 points for Landon Cerny, as well as 6 rebounds in the ball game. 10 points for Luke Jensen, as well as 7 rebounds. 9 points, 5 assists for Trey Hansen. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists for Carter Hansen. Bunch of steals and blocks thrown in as well. Carson Preister got 4 points. Sean Doan with 2. Spencer Blanchette with 4 as well. So we'll get to you. They shot 7 of 12 from the free throw line. They scored 17 points in the first, 19 in the second, 9 in the third, and 12 in the fourth for their total of 59 points. The Tanagers will move to 8-2 on their season, as now it is our Tanager post-game show, joined by a player and then Coach Budmeyer. This player is Carson Preister, and Carson, obviously congratulations on the big win, 59-25. How did it feel? It seemed up here night and day compared to your last game on Thursday.
Yeah, thank you. We had a lot better game than last Thursday. I would say it starts from the beginning of the game during warm-ups, and we just it was a lot better, more energy going into the game rather than Lennox.
You look back to Thursday, obviously a couple practices, didn't have to play over the weekend. How were those practices? Were they any different than anything normal, or was it just Jay Drake saying, let's keep working, let's kind of put that one behind us?
Yeah, it was exactly that. He said this game's here to put that behind us and get that out of our heads, and practice were the same. We kept everything the same like we should, and yeah, it was good. Same practice.
Got a lot of playing time in there as well, especially late in that ball game. How fun is it for you to kind of go out there and just know that, nobody's really coming in? It's just kind of you guys out there battling out for about 8 minutes or so there at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's nice, getting the experience of going there for a full 8 minutes and getting tired the whole time, and getting through that.
Work up a little bit of sweat, did you?
Exactly. Yeah. But it was nice.
And now a bit of a short week for you guys. Obviously a big task coming up ahead. Number one team, Sioux Falls Christian. Obviously we talked with Coach Budmeyer about it, head coach Jay Drake as well. You guys usually try to take it one game at a time. What are you guys seeing early so far from Sioux Falls Christian that, I mean, obviously I've seen them play myself a couple times. They're going to be a tough team.
Yeah, they will be tough for sure. We're going to go at it the same way we went at it tonight and be defensively strong and keep them off the boards and everything. And we know it's a tough task, but, you know, we can do it, we think. So.
Well, Carson, obviously a big win for you guys tonight, 59-25. You moved to 8-2 on the season. Congratulations. Good luck on Thursday against the number one Sioux Falls Christian.
Yeah, thank you.
That again, Carson Preister, senior, joining us up here on the post-game show, is now the peanut gallery back behind us has stopped, and we're going to get joined by assistant coach Lewis Budmeyer. Always you and Spencer Buley laughing it up back there. I always hear you behind me. What in the world goes on back there?
We're here. We won a basketball game. We're just having a good time. You guys are testing me up here. Heights is not my thing, and holy cow, I could touch the rafters up here.
Yeah, you can. It's like the nosebleeds up here.
I mean, it's a heck of a view. It's kind of like you're at an NBA game on the top deck where you feel like you're right on top of the floor.
Yep.
It's actually kind of cool up here, but it's testing me a little bit, Cole.
Yeah, those stairs, be careful going down them especially. They can be treacherous. It seemed like, talked about it with Carson a little bit, seemed night and day here today compared to the last game. Thursday, obviously, big loss to Lennox. Here, big win against EPJ. It just seemed like offensively, shots were going in, and most importantly, it seemed like the guys were almost having a bit more fun out here today.
Yeah, we just relaxed. Like Carson, I think I heard him say, it all started with our warm-up. Our energy was great in the pregame locker room. We was coming at the 7-minute mark. The energy was super high. We were eager to get back out there and just flush that Lennox game out of our system. And now it's done with. We came out here and beat a really solid EPJ team. We took it to them early, and we kind of kept our foot on the gas. We've done that many times this year where we've got on top of people, we've got ahead of them, and we've let them back in the game. This time we did a great job of holding them off. We kept that large lead. And then even in like the fourth quarter when our other guys got opportunities, they played extremely hard. They played extremely crisp, and they actually made the lead even bigger. So that's a huge, huge program win from top to bottom. You always love those situations, getting those guys into practice all the time. To get an opportunity to go play in the varsity game. So they did a great job finishing off the job, and overall, great win for our boys.
Your two leading scorers, Gabe Larson and Landon Cerny. Usually you can see them maybe pop off a little bit, but what does it mean for you guys knowing that both of them can come out here and now all five of your starting five can just pop out for double figures just like that?
It's a huge advantage that we have in our program. We have a high skill level team, 1 through 5, 1 through 6, 1 through 7, all the way through our bench. We got a lot of guys who can play ball, and that's a huge thing. I didn't realize that Cerny and Gabe led us tonight. And a lot of their points just came from doing the little things right. Cerny had some great backdoor cuts. We got the ball in the middle, made a great flash from the backside flash. Finished it there, hit a couple threes. Gabe's been shooting the ball well as of late, and he's a kind of an X factor for us. If he's shooting the ball well, opens up the defense, loosens up the defense a little bit. But overall, that's a good testament to our ball movement and our team mentality that we have. When we're clicking on offensive end, we're dialing up the assists left and right. We're moving the ball. Everybody's knocking down shots, but it's easy to play that way when you're hitting shots. When it gets tough is when you start missing shots. But our intentions were great tonight, our mentality going in for it, and that's how you get a product we have on the floor tonight.
And offensively, it seemed like even when you weren't hitting shots, offensive rebounds, it seemed like they were coming all the time. I know at the end of the first half, I had you guys counted down for 11. I have no idea if that number is actually even anywhere close. It just seemed like every time I looked up, there's another offensive rebound, another offensive rebound. That's going to be important going into Thursday as we kind of look ahead. Obviously, a big task coming up. What have you and the other coaches kind of seen from Sioux Falls Christian?
I mean, you can make the argument as the best team in the state across all classifications, any level. They got their depth. They're very athletic. But the offensive boards tonight was a big key for us. Funny thing was, I think we went into the halftime with 22 boards, and we finished the Lennox game with 24. So that's just the night and day difference we were talking about between those two games. But Sioux Falls Christian comes at you from every direction. They got a big, good Barry who's really good, recruited at a high level. Even their eighth man in their rotations getting recruited at an NAIA Division II level. But the great part of that is we get an opportunity to go at them in our gym. So you can't ask for much better than that. It's a great one of my favorite quotes Coach Drake always says is we fear nobody, but we respect everybody. So a lot of respect for them. It's a tried and true program. We know what they do. They win a bunch of games. But I'm glad we played this way to kind of hopefully catapult us and hopefully keep that energy no matter if shots are falling, things aren't going our way. Keep playing our brand of basketball, and I fully believe that we can go toe-to-toe with them and give ourselves a chance in the fourth.
One final question is I can keep you a little bit longer. It's not nearly as long as a bus ride, just about 15, 20 minutes or so, but we are officially halfway through the season, 8-2. Obviously, you set your own goals. The team has their own goals. Have some of them goals been met halfway through? Are you looking forward? Are you progressing towards those goals very well?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you get 10 games in, you're halfway through the season, you got 8 wins on that side of the record sheet. So that's a good start. Obviously, we feel we let one of them go for sure. Didn't have a good showing. So the 2 losses, a lot to learn from those. There were 2 quality losses against the top teams in A, and our boys have proven to us time and time again when we do have those bumps in the road, we're learning from them and we're fixing those mistakes, and it's making us a better basketball team. No matter what path you take to get there at the end, you just got to find a way to get where we want to go.
Well, Coach, better make the bus before they start leaving you. Obviously, big win. Congrats. Halfway through the season, 8-2. Big test on Thursday. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thanks, Cole.
Assistant Coach Lewis Budmeyer joins us after every game. Him and Spencer chatted up a little bit. Be careful with those stairs there. Be careful about that one, as we got headset cords all over the place. I'm really not sure what's going on. I latched myself in with a pen. That's probably part of it. What happened is, there we go. Now we get Spencer Buley back on here. 1-1 go the Tanagers in completely different games on either side of the ball. Still very big for the boys to get a win, recovering after their loss. Girls, we knew coming in they're going to have a really tough schedule. They're going to be a really good team. A lot we can learn from in these 2 games.
Yeah, I think starting with the first game of the night, the girls, of course, got to get a win. John Brooks really, that's John Brooks' messages right now, is we got to find a way. So you can tell the urgency's high with them. Lots to learn from that game as well. As he mentioned, they're going to keep working that offensive system, figure out different ways to score points. But for the boys, incredibly impressed with the way they responded to that Lennox game. You literally could not ask for a better showing tonight in any way, shape, or form. Fired on all cylinders. Huge props to them, and props to this coaching staff as well for getting them right back ready to go and coming out here and dominating tonight.
Good in the girls' game, 57-39 in favor of Elk Point-Jefferson. Tanagers fall to 9-3. Here in the boys' game, 59-25. They will move to 8-2 on their season. Next action for us here on Vermillion Tanagers Live, we talked about a little bit in the post-game show. Number 1, Sioux Falls Christian comes down for a boys-only contest. I believe it's scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. We'll have pregame for you starting at 6:15. Next action for the girls, they will travel up to Irene Wakanda to take on the number 3 team in Class B, the Lyman Raiders. That'll all be streamed on Irene Wakanda Eagles Live there on YouTube, that full classic. And then our next action after that will be Thursday, as we're back at a home doubleheader, as the Tanagers will take on Del Rapids. That wraps it up here inside Elk Point-Jefferson High School tonight. For Spencer Buley, I'm Cole Larsch and Heath Nimke, our pregame host. Thank you for tuning in to Vermillion Tanagers Live. As always, we hope to catch you on Thursday as the Tanagers take on Sioux Falls Christian. Stay safe, stay warm, and everybody have a great rest of your week.